Good evening, Warriors, and welcome into another edition of the R&R Sports Report. I'm your host, Randy Isbelle, and with me this week, that's not Robert Hagan. Don't adjust your sets. That is Alisha Alexander, the Sports Information Director here at LC, ready to join me this week. Alisha, how's it going?
I don't know how to answer that question. It's going. We're getting ready. We are. Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you.
Oh, no.
I don't know if that microphone is working.
I got the bum.
I think you got the bum one. Try that one. Hold on. Oh, it's starting to work. Try again.
Which one? This one?
That one. Number 4.
This one working?
I don't know.
Well.
Good start.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
No.
What?
What is happening? Hold on.
Does that one work?
We'll find out. Test one. Hey, this one's working. I don't know how we're going to get it to you, but we'll go this way.
That'll be interesting when we actually have somebody in here, but we'll figure it out. Whoa.
We will test things out, and we will figure it out.
I almost pulled the mic out of the thing.
Don't do that.
Okay. Well.
Technical difficulties. We're having fun.
That's why I'm here. That's what I thrive in. My job is a technical difficulty, so.
How is it going out there on the Facebook lands? I know Robert Taylor is already here. He's getting all excited because his team won the Super Bowl. We will talk all about it. Let's try this again with the third microphone, and then I'll figure out why those other ones are not working, because we'll need those later. Alisha, let's try again. How's it going?
I'm trying to pull the microphone out of the
Stop trying to pull the thing
It's
out.
not moving. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Ish.
This
You got to talk into the microphone.
I'm trying. It won't move towards me.
There you go.
This is basically how the week's been going so far, getting ready for the monster weekend that we have coming up.
Or maybe we'll just have you scoot that way.
That's a good idea.
Since the microphone doesn't want to scoot, we
Move
can
to the
scoot
microphone.
you.
How about now? Is that better?
There we go.
Okay. We got there.
Yes, it is a absolutely insane weekend coming up for LC Sports, especially for you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll play a small role in it, but just real quickly before we get into the Super Bowl and all the NFL stuff that happened this last weekend. Yes, they did win, Robert. I know you weren't watching the Super Bowl, but your team did win. Congratulations. Just to run through all of the craziness that you have to go through, and I'm going to try to fix these microphones.
All right, let me pull up the schedule because I'm going to need it to remember everything we've got going on just this weekend.
Just this weekend.
Just this weekend. All right. So, men's tennis is traveling to Georgia. They're going to play some top 25 teams. They'll start off on the 16th, so Thursday, against number 6 Middle Georgia State. Friday the 17th, track and field opens up its last regular season indoor meet out at LeGrand at the EOU Last Chance Invite. Men's tennis will take on receiving votes St. Thomas. Number 5 Xavier. Baseball has the home opener with receiving votes UBC, so that'll be a big series. Basketball opens up its final weekend of the regular season at home with Multnomah. Saturday, track and field wraps up EOU's Last Chance Invite. Men's tennis takes on number 13 Cumberland. It's still in Georgia. Baseball doubleheader with UBC. Men's tennis's final match of the weekend, number 8 Lindsey Wilson. Not to be confused with our freshman on the women's basketball team, Lindsey Wilson. And then basketball will wrap up the weekend and senior night with Warner Pacific. There's still baseball on Sunday. Don't forget baseball on Sunday. And then we keep going into Monday and Tuesday. And I will have a day of no sports on the 23rd.
You're almost there.
I mean, women's tennis was going to play on the road on Sunday. They got canceled up at U of I to give the girls some rest, but we have enough going on.
For everybody out there that's listening, can you hear Alisha? Okay. I don't know what has happened in here in the last 2 weeks. Obviously, we were not here. When was the last time we were in here? Was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? Obviously, we weren't here last week because I wasn't here, and Robert doesn't have access to this room, so he did it from his house. Only 2 of the microphones are working.
I'll share when they get here.
Yeah, we'll make it work when we have our guests and stuff. But I have a cord down here that looks like it should go to a microphone. That definitely is not. Okay, they're saying they can hear you, so that's all that matters right now.
All right, that works.
So we'll figure it out.
That's definitely a microphone cord right there.
This I don't know anymore. I really don't. We're not KLCZ anymore. We're LCWR, which I have to get used to. The website that was supposed to come out at the beginning of the semester is still very much not They're still working on it. Yes, there's a piano player that likes to show up here about this time. And
what?
Yep.
I'm impressed that they have access to that. That's cool.
Well, it's right in the middle of the lobby.
Yeah, but just for free play, it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, actually, they're late because usually they show up about 30 minutes before we start, and they're done before we start the show. I guess
Valentine's Day. People have things to do.
That's true. Turn her down, way down. Okay, sorry. Denny Grubb wants you to be.
Denny just doesn't want to hear my voice anymore. Denny's tired of my emails already.
Absolutely. All right, let's have some fun. Let's talk the Super Bowl. And you said you did watch it.
Yes.
So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
You and 113 million other people.
Yes.
Which makes it the third biggest TV program in history. So all those people a couple years ago that said they'll never watch the NFL again are big fat liars. Or
sorry, I just got a text from somebody saying they can't make it tonight.
Oh,
so I'm gonna keep working. You keep talking.
Yeah, that's all you do. That's all she does is work. But yes, it was the third biggest TV program in history. By the way, the other two also Super Bowls, both involving the New England Patriots. One with the crazy comeback against the Atlanta Falcons, where 28-3. We've only heard that 100,000 times. And then actually the Patriots and the Seahawks back in 2015 is the greatest TV program of all time with 114.4 million people. So just shy of that here.
Wait, which one was that one?
Where they did not run the ball.
No, I missed the matchup.
The Patriots and Seahawks.
Okay.
Where the Seahawks decided not to run. The last time the Super Bowl was in Arizona.
Oh, yes.
On top of
my mother said that they did not leave the house at all. My mom lives in the Phoenix area, so they did not leave the house this weekend between Waste Management and Super Bowl.
So you did watch, and Kansas City does win it 38-35. And before I get into my thoughts, I want to know what you thought of the Super Bowl.
The first half, to me, I was just thinking to myself, this is kind of a boring Super Bowl. Like, there's not much going on. Yeah, there wasn't any crazy play that I thought was going to happen. And I'm just getting the call came back or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that didn't really work out. Second half was better. Everybody, I don't watch for the halftime show. Like, I like Rihanna, but I do actually watch for the football game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it ended well. I wanted the Chiefs to win. I did. But it's kind of cheeseball at the end. It was, I don't know. It was a
cheeseball is one way to put it. The way I have been putting it the last 4 days is it was a big, giant, wet fart on a fantastic. I really enjoyed the Super Bowl. I thought both offenses were absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a tale of two halves. And yes, Robert Taylor hit another part that really hurt the Super Bowl. And we'll get to it in just 1 second, Robert. But it was a good take.
Yeah.
Which is
the pile of
odd
tweets
from Robert. Robert does not have the best takes. That's not true. We like to troll each other the whole time. But the first half very much controlled by the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more than I think a lot of people think they did. But there was that good stretch where they had a decent drive going. Hurts just drops the football. It was not even a fumble. It was
he just dropped it.
Slipped out, kicked off his foot. One of those. The only mistake he had in that entire game. The Chiefs pick it up, score a touchdown. Then the Eagles obviously get the ball right back. And it was like, a 12-13 play drive where they wasted 7 minutes. So Mahomes was not on the field for about a half hour through all of that. But the Eagles defense really did a good job, minus that opening drive of KC, to really kind of shut that Chiefs offense down. And you really felt, other than that crazy mistake, that the Eagles were dominating this game. And without that mistake, the lead's much more than 10. And who knows where we go from there. The adjustments that Kansas City made after halftime.
Yeah. And I mean, they even said they've been a second
great.
half team all year.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of their MO. I know when we were watching, we don't watch a ton of football, but my husband even said, at one point, oh, sorry, Chiefs, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said, we've seen some Super Bowls where there've been some pretty big comebacks. And sure enough, it was Eagles first half and Chiefs second half. And
as much as I like to root against the Chiefs just because of Robert Taylor, there's at no point in any of these games where you go, Mahomes has zero chance.
Exactly.
Because he is going to go out there and do it.
Bum ankle or not. Dude still, I mean, they're saying, he can't run the ball. He's having a hard time with this. And then he goes and he does. And he runs. Yeah, he's hurting, but he's still, I mean, he's the MVP for a reason.
However, I think people need to calm down on what a fantastic performance Mahomes had and just go, what a fantastic performance the entire Chiefs had.
Yeah.
Was Mahomes great? absolutely. It was like 93%
Mhm.
completion percentage. However, as a Jets fan who knows what it is like to have horrible quarterbacks for my entire life, every single Jets quarterback in my lifetime could have completed 2 of those 3 touchdown passes that Mahomes threw.
Mhm.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Does that take anything away from Mahomes? Absolutely
No.
not. But you have to give credit to Andy Reid for the play calling,
Yeah.
the way they were setting up those plays, and Patrick Mahomes for throughout the rest of the drives really being able to read the defense and make smart plays as well. But yes, that run he had
Mhm.
late in the game that really
Yep.
set up that last field goal was fantastic, especially when you thought that he should not even be walking
Exactly.
right now. So
Yeah.
I give credit, obviously, to Patrick Mahomes. He is one of the greatest of all time. I don't think anybody can debate it. People can calm down about the greatest of all time. Let the kid play some.
Yeah,
He's only 5 years in.
I was gonna say, like, even saying one of the greatest, it's only been 5 years.
But all right, let's get it. I've been doing my best not to talk about it. But that holding call at the end of the game. Yeah. Did the defender hold Juju Smith-Schuster? Yes.
You thought, yeah.
He did. Now, the Fox broadcast did not show the actual hold part
Really?
of the play. They kept showing where Juju was cutting up field. And at that point, there is no holding. But the very first cut Juju has, and there's pictures of it on Twitter, and many people have sent them to me because I have gotten in many arguments over the last few days. He does tug on the jersey. It is a hold. However, it's not an egregious hold. It's not a crazy hold.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 58, 59 minutes. I forget how much time was left when this penalty got called. We'll say 58 minutes. 0 holding calls were called in that entire Super Bowl on the offensive line, on defenders.
Yep.
Not one holding call.
Yep.
So that is basically the entire game where the referee said, we are going to let you play.
Yeah.
And then on the biggest game of the Super Bowl, the referees went, okay, we're going to call something.
Yeah.
And it wasn't egregious. It wasn't crazy. There was a more egregious play against Juju earlier in that game that they did not call. So
it was just the timing's what made it what it was.
It's so, and again, I picked the Eagles to win.
Oh.
But it doesn't bother me. You should have seen my picks this whole year. I'm used to having my picks be wrong. So it's totally fine. I just wanted to, this game to me was one of the greatest we've seen ever. And it was setting up to be something really, really special.
Yeah.
Chiefs don't convert that third down. They'll kick the field goal. Eagles get a minute-ish with one timeout to try to go down and tie it, possibly win it. But then if they go down and score a touchdown, Mahomes is going to have probably plenty of time. We've seen that last year against the Bills. There's no time left on that clock that is not enough for Patrick Mahomes to do something with. So wild. We got robbed of all of that. We got robbed of possibly this first overtime with the new playoff rules that they got in. So that's where I come from. It's just, if you're going to let the players play, and it was such a clean game.
There was not a lot called in that game because I don't watch, like I said, I don't watch a lot of football, but I did notice that it was moving. Yeah. And it was great. And it just kind of was robbed. And again, for those that goes, well, it was the right call. Yes. However, there's a difference between making the right call and making a consistent call. It's like a strike zone. Sure, it's a strike, but it has been a strike all game.
If you have not called the upper inside corner a strike all game, you cannot call it in the bottom of the ninth. Even though it is a strike, if you have not called it a strike the entire game, that is not a strike. And that's all I wanted. And I think Hurts, you cannot give the losing player the MVP. It's happened one time in the history of the Super Bowl.
No matter how bad you want to.
But Hurts was the best player.
He was
on Sunday.
What, he had 3 rushing touchdowns?
So here, there were a bunch of Super Bowl records that went down.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about those real quick. Either went down or tied. And a lot of them were by Jalen Hurts. So he tied Terrell Davis for the most rushing touchdowns in the Super Bowl with 3. Terrell Davis did that 25 years ago. And Hurts is now the second player ever to do that. Hurts also tied James White with 20 points scored in the Super Bowl because he had the 3 rushing touchdowns and the 2-point conversion. Hurts had 70 rushing yards, which was the most by any quarterback ever in the Super Bowl. Steve McNair had 64 back in Super Bowl 34. Oh, and Hurts also became the first player ever, not in the Super Bowl, but in NFL history, to have 300 passing yards, 70 rushing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
He was okay. He was pretty good in that game. Also, other records being broken. Kadarius Toney with the longest punt return. That was another crucial play.
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
I think the Eagles had him dead to rights 5 times on that play. I give Toney credit for getting out of that. He went 65 yards, which broke Jordan Norwood's 61-yard punt return back on Super Bowl 50. Most points scored by a losing team, which is now 35 for the Eagles. Mahomes is the first quarterback to throw 3 touchdowns with 0 turnovers and 0 sacks in the Super Bowl. And I think the 0 sacks thing is something that a lot of people have given credit for. But you have to remember, the Eagles coming into this game had the 3rd most sacks ever in a single season behind 2 Bears teams. 0 against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The offensive line did work, and Patrick Mahomes. And really that game plan was get the ball out of my hands quickly.
Yeah.
Which is why Juju had so many targets, why Travis Kelce had so many targets. It was 3 steps, get the ball out. We're going to protect Mahomes and protect that ankle and make sure they can't get to him.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of that first half, it was scary.
Yeah.
Like,
that play was, I felt so bad.
Yeah. I'm going to call an audible real fast.
Sure. Audibles happen on this show. That's for sure. And I do give credit for Jerick McKinnon for sliding there late in that game to not score when the Eagles clearly were like, go for it. Though I do wish the Eagles would have ran over, picked him up, and tried to carry him in. They just stopped playing. But if McKinnon doesn't slide, we could have broken the record for most points scored in the Super Bowl. The record was, 75 back in Super Bowl 29, where the 49ers beat the Chargers 49-26. We came up just 2 points short. But again, can't blame McKinnon on it. It was a very heads-up play. And a play that, if, as a Jets fan, if you go all the way back to week 2, week 2, Cleveland had that same situation where if they just slide, they can kneel the ball and they're going to beat the Jets. Instead, Nick Chubb, it's like, I'm getting my touchdown. And the Jets came back from 2 scores down in the last minute and a half, and everyone thought Joe Flacco was a god. He's not. But it's showing you the smartness of this play to go, hey, now that I slid, though he should have slid maybe, half a foot later so he got the first down. Yeah. And then they could have just knelt it all the way through.
I was so confused. It's like not knowing what was going on and not knowing the intricacies. I was just like, I was looking at Zach, like, why did he do that? He missed the end zone. And then, then it was explained.
Then you can run the clock. And he can't see the line in there. So he was just trying to slide. Either way, it was a fantastic, smart play. Very, very good Super Bowl. Just the moment that call gets made, it's like, well, that's it. And then you just kind of have to wait the rest of it out. It does mean that all 3 of us that made predictions on this show, me, Hagen, and Brian, who replaced me last week, all got the pick wrong. We all picked the Eagles.
Well,
yes, that's what we get. Robert and I were almost really close on the Jalen Hurts prediction for MVP. It was absolutely fantastic. I did get the over correct. I did say there was going to be 58 points, and they crushed me on that. But so I got one thing right. And we'll get into the props here in a little bit. And spoilers, we sucked really, really bad. There were even layup props that ended up not being layups. It was a bad prop situation. You brought up the halftime show, and we'll get into some of the more silliness that happens around the Super Bowl. Yeah. What were your thoughts on Rihanna's halftime performance?
I mean, she's good. I thought she put on a decent show. I thought last year's was better. It's kind of hard to beat that one. I think it's more fun when you do involve other artists.
Thank you.
Yes. It was just Rihanna. And I get she had some news to share. Cool. Congratulations. It wasn't very showy. There was no costume changes. Everything looked the same the entire time. She sounds great. Don't get me wrong. It was okay. I wasn't blown away, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, she's not going to be able to do anything crazy while pregnant, and it was a very cool way to announce her second pregnancy, and very cool of her to be able to go out there and make that announcement in that way. And obviously, do I listen to her music a ton? No, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to enjoy the halftime show. And you could definitely tell even before it was fun seeing it on Twitter where people are going, how long did it take different households for somebody to go,
Well,
is she?
Because I saw it and I was just thinking, is she pregnant? I look at Zach and I go, Rihanna's pregnant. He goes, yeah. Like he knew. Like he was just some kind of thing that everybody already knew.
No, we had no idea.
Yeah, no. And then later on, I was like, did she just announce it? And he goes, oh, okay. I was thinking back to the last time. I don't know how old her first kid is, but.
We just had those awkward moments and family get-togethers of, okay, who's going to be the first one to say it?
Yeah.
But I like the moving platforms. I thought that was really cool.
Did you see somebody almost fell off?
Did they? I did not see
one of the dancers almost fell off when it was up in the air. I saw it on Twitter or Instagram or something. They kept showing the person falling backwards.
I do agree. I mean, having all the different duets and I'm right there with you. I've had a lot of people disagree with me too. And she did fantastic for her limitations, obviously. But that's what I like about the Super Bowl is, all right, I'm going to sing my stuff. Here's a special guest. They're going to sing your song or two, and then we're going to collab. Yep, the Super Smash Brothers halftime show.
Yeah, when I saw like the drum kit and everything, I was like, oh, cool. We're going to have a little bit something different. It was just more of the same. It was just kind of a bummer.
And
did you watch the performances before the show? Like
no.
Oh, I forget her name. I don't even remember what she sang, but it was obvious she was lip syncing because she was singing different words than where the song was at. And I was just like, you practice this. How does that happen?
And you can definitely tell Rihanna was lip singing at times, or at least had the background music to go.
Yeah, I was confused by that. I was early on in her performance too.
And I'm totally fine with that, especially with this kind of performance. Most of the people aren't watching you that closely anyways. It's a spectacle of things. We're not there to hear your voice. That's for the national anthem, which I forget who did that, but
that was Chris Stapleton.
Thank you. He was fantastic.
He was awesome.
He was also under the over under for national anthem, so I liked him even more. Christina Aguilera, is that who you were talking about? Is Megan asking?
No, it wasn't. It was before. It was before even America the Beautiful. It was probably the first thing they sang. I can't think of her name.
Yeah, we do the bowling league.
She's an actress too.
Oh yeah, we do the bowling league that's based off the NFL. So we do our Super Bowl and then our little get together and give out money during all the pre-show stuff. So I miss most of that. And by the time we get home, it's about national anthem time. But no, I'm with you. Last year I thought was fantastic, and it's partially because you had 5 or 6 different artists. So I mean, they all had one theme.
Yes,
and it works out really well. But that's what I like is that we can blend things together. And
it was just kind of like it was the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
I love Rihanna's music. I guess she hasn't put music out for a while, but it was monotonous. It was the same.
It was the same with The Weeknd a couple years ago.
Were there even any pyrotechnics?
Around the stadium.
Okay. Oh yeah, on the outside. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and one thing we forgot to bring up real quick, and I know a lot of people are complaining about it after the halftime, but Robert Taylor did bring up that the field sucked, and the field sucked before halftime. So do not blame the halftime show for it. And most of that halftime show was up in the middle of the air anyway. So it wasn't like they were destroying the entire field, but I don't know what they did. I've heard so many different rumors that they painted the entire field to make it look more green. And that's why it was slick, or they just overwatered the thing. It was horrible.
I mean, I saw the pile of cleats.
Yeah.
Everybody was changing their spikes.
Well, you could just see just divots coming out of the ground. It looked like a golf course.
Yeah. Oh, yes. After the halftime show, the grounds crew just filling in the divots.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It was like every time anybody tried to pivot, they took part of that field off, and it made it impossible to find any grip. And maybe that is why both offenses were so great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the defense is just slipping and sliding all over the place. And yes, the offense has to slip and slide too, but the offense knows where they're going, and the defense is trying to react. So
yeah, makes sense.
Neither here nor there, but that was not a good showing by the sod father, who I never knew of until this year. And apparently he's like 90 some years old, and he's been doing the Super Bowl field since the first one. And this was his last one, and it's not the one you want to go out on. That's for sure. On top of that, the halftime show, we had all the commercials, which
there were some decent ones.
There were okay ones. It's funny how, when we were growing up, like all we could remember were the great Super Bowl commercials.
Doritos.
And
I love Doritos commercials.
If you go back and look, I guarantee you, even those years, there were 3 or 4 fantastic ones, and the rest stunk.
Yeah.
But we just remember the great ones. We're like, oh, commercials are so much better back then.
Yeah.
It's the same today, where there's 3 or 4 ones that go, yeah, that one got me. Either made me laugh or made you cry or whatever, which way it wants to go. And the rest are just generic. A lot of commercials now are look at our QR code.
Yes.
We get a lot of QR codes. We got a lot of electric cars were the theme this year.
Yes.
I want to say every other commercial was.
I remember Rams.
Right.
Rams, REV. They brought the babies back though.
Yeah, babies have come back. Dogs were there. We'll get to the dog commercial, Denny, as we'll go through that. A couple other ones real quick before we get to the top 5 according to the USA Today ad meter. I don't know how this ad meter works, but that's where I got my list from. There were 51 total commercials during the Super Bowl, and how much each for a spot? Millions of dollars for a spot. So a decent pull for Fox there. But I did like the Will Ferrell commercial where he was running through all the different Netflix shows. I'm not a big Will Ferrell guy, but I thought that one was pretty funny. Was pretty good. Also an electric car commercial.
Yes.
Which just was part of it. I think they showed this multiple times, or I saw it afterwards because we just kept the TV on after the Super Bowl. But Google had that commercial with their Pixel thing where you can delete things.
Oh, yeah.
And all I could remember was Amy Schumer going, "Oh, I could delete my exes from my pictures."
Yep.
Thought that one was funny. The Binky Dad one was good.
That was cute. That one struck a chord with me. My mom's watching. She knows why. Yeah,
there you go.
Ask my sister.
And he knows $7 million for a 30-second ad.
Oh.
They did that Grease spot with T-Mobile. Which was weird to me
because she just died. Olivia Newton-John recently died.
Yeah, so well, that's why she wasn't on the commercial.
I know. So that's all I could think about during the commercial was like, oh, she can't sing her spot.
And that was the other thing. There was a lot of nostalgia acts.
Yes.
Where they were just, oh, remember this person? And that's where we get into it. Here's your top 5 in descending order according to this USA Today ad meter. See if you remember any of these, because I actually had to look 2 of them up. And mostly because when you just hear the name of an ad, it's like, I don't remember. Yeah. But number 5 was before I get into it, this first one does also kind of bug me a little bit because I saw this commercial before the Super Bowl because now these companies will go, hey, check out our Super Bowl ad, and I can't help myself. But the Popcorners commercial with the Breaking Bad parody, I thought was really good. It ended up number 5, where they just kind of took back scenes from the original show. I don't know if you ever watched Breaking Bad.
No, but I have eaten Popcorners.
Have you?
So there you go. Halfway there.
We've combined forces to make this commercial. So I like that one. Number 4 was Dunkin' with their drive-through with Ben Affleck.
That was funny.
That one was really good.
That one was good when J-Lo pulled up. I like that one.
I did enjoy that one. Number 3 was Amazon with they called Saving Sawyer, which is about a dog that starts misbehaving. And they make it look like they buy the dog carrier because they're going to get rid of the dog.
Sibling.
And they buy him a sibling. When I went to go rewatch this commercial before our show to remind myself what these commercials were, the very first comment was just like, don't buy another dog, just train your dog. Because the dog is just acting. Stop leaving your dog and not training him. I'm like, well, that's not the point of the commercial. Amazon wants you to buy stuff.
Yes.
You can't buy dog training from Amazon.
You can buy dog training tools.
Maybe.
We tried. It didn't work.
No.
No.
Another one that I think was maybe before the Super Bowl, because it was the girl that acted in this commercial, I would guess would be the one that would run out with the kickoff ball, but was the NFL commercial called Run With It, which was a little girl. It was like a flag football competition. And
I did see that.
Running around different celebrities and football players. I know Jim Kelly had a spot in it. My guess, again, I missed the beginning of these things, is then the commercial ends and then she is shown on the field and she runs out.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together that it was the same girl, but I do remember seeing that just because California just made it official that flag football is now a high school sport. So that's what I thought of when I saw that. And
this is also a big thing because, I mean, they have been celebrating women in the NFL, and we saw that with the NFL honors with Kelly Clarkson was the host.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, I didn't watch it.
Yeah. Her opening skit was okay. She had some funny moments in it, but you could tell she was nervous, and she came out in a crazy Dallas Cowboy dress that just ruined everything. And Teddy Grubb did nail it. The dog commercial from the farmer's dog was number 1, basically, of the dog growing older and older.
Oh gosh, that one! I was waiting for that one to rip my heart out.
And that one ended up being the top commercial according to USA Today ad meter.
I don't like those commercials.
There's one every year. That we didn't use this prop bet this year just because I couldn't find a good site to control it. We did some commercial prop bets, but there's always over under 3.5 dogs.
Yeah.
In a Super Bowl, you just bet over every time, and you end up winning because dogs are like the go-to.
Yeah.
For any of those,
everybody loves.
I don't remember a single Doritos commercial.
I don't
year.
either, and they used to have such good commercials. Yeah. They did.
Like Pepsi was another one that was huge, and I didn't really see them.
Well, didn't Pepsi use to sponsor the halftime show too, and they don't anymore? I hope Pepsi's not hurting because
the Jurassic Park of commercials. Robert Taylor, you can see yourself out. That's, jeez. But no, then of course, there's so many different superhero movies that are coming out, so we got a lot of those ads as well. I forgot about that. Thank you.
I'm so confused.
Kathy nailed it. Oh. The Tubi TV commercial. Haley even looked at me going, "What is happening?" Okay, I caught on quickly, but
so before there was the one that got everybody, all those commercials with the rabbits, those were all Tubi, and I don't understand what was going on.
Maybe that's just their logo. I don't watch Tubi a lot, but
I don't watch anything.
It was so good. The Tubi commercial where it's like, "Oh, we're changing it to that," because I wonder how many people were freaking out and they don't even have a Roku stick.
Yeah.
Or their TV doesn't, or they don't have a smart TV. So they're like, "What is happening?" Everyone with a smart TV was like, "I know this screen."
It's like someone sat on the remote. Where's the remote? Yeah.
I forget if it was Rich Eisen or Dan Patrick that said it, because I was listening to all sorts of talking heads throughout the week. So I forget who said what, but they want to know how many kids got yelled at during that commercial. Because what was the first thing you do when something happens to the TV? You yell at the kid. So a lot of kids got yelled at in that 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious.
I don't understand the rabbits. There were so many commercials with the rabbits. And it was
there
has
to be something with a Tubi thing on there. Again, I don't use Tubi, but I bet if you go on that app, there's a lot of rabbits. Would be my guess.
Weird. Creepy. I was like, it's too early for Easter, so I don't know what's going on.
Before the Super Bowl was the NFL honors. Again, Kelly Clarkson was the host. I didn't really watch a lot of these. I watched her opening segment and then was watching as the different awards came in. None of them were super surprising to me. I think I would have got most of these right. I still don't believe that Geno Smith is a comeback player of the year. The man did not come back from anything. He was never good. You can't come back from just being irrelevant the whole time. But that is just my gripe as a Jets fan who saw him get drafted in the second round and just never be good. You can't come back from something you were never there for. That's just me. Your Walter Payton Man of the Year was Dak Prescott, which got him booed because there was a lot of Eagle fans there.
Yeah, I heard that. I felt bad.
The next gen stats moment of the year, I think I would 100% agree with, was the Justin Jefferson catch against the Buffalo Bills. If you haven't seen it, it was a crucial fourth down play late in the game. The Bills defender had it in two hands, and with one hand, Jefferson just took it from him and helped Minnesota come back and win that game. The defensive player of the year was Nick Bosa for the 49ers. Offensive player of the year was Justin Jefferson, who was also the only non-quarterback to finish, I believe, in the top 5 of MVP. He was pretty good there. Coach of the year was Brian Daboll for the Giants. That one could have went to a couple different people, and it wouldn't have surprised me too much. And then Patrick Mahomes, nearly unanimous MVP. I think only 2 people voted against him. I think one was Josh Allen and one was Jalen Hurts. I'm sure Robert Taylor has those people on speed dial now, so he could yell at them later. But the key, this is a long thing from Denny, so we'll go through this real quick. A giant rabbit kidnaps various people.
Yeah, it did that. Yeah. Drags them away. The rabbits.
Tubi encourages you to find the rabbit holes you didn't know you were looking for on its service. Interesting. Okay, Tubi.
It was kind of creepy, to be honest. I was just like, why are these rabbits just straight up taking
told you,
people?
The Josh Allen voter shouldn't. You got that one from the Fox guy. And I can't. Nick Wright. There you go. But the key to the NFL honors, people, the offensive and defensive rookies of the year.
Okay.
Only the 3rd time in history a team has swept both awards. And it came to the New York Jets this year. Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner. Though Garrett Wilson should not have been the offensive rookie of the year. It should have been Breece Hall, but that poor man tore his ACL after week 6 or 7. He was my favorite part of, my second favorite part of going to Lambeau was watching him run. The best moment of going to Lambeau was seeing Sauce Gardner put on the cheesehead after the Jets beat the Packers.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, that guy.
Sauce Gardner, the man
Sauce
Gardner, who has lived up to it. And Chris Olave did not get robbed. You stop it. The other cool part, obviously, with the NFL honors is they announced the Hall of Fame class for next year. Also, 2 Jets got announced on this one. So, yeah, Jets are just nailing it. But no, Darrelle Revis, I thought was a no-brainer. So was Joe Thomas, the offensive lineman for Cleveland. We also got Rondé Barber from Tampa Bay, Zach Thomas from Miami. DeMarcus Ware also I think was a no-brainer there for Dallas and Denver. Joe Klecko, the old D lineman from way back before I was watching. I'm sure you can get lots of stories from Danny Grubb about Joe Klecko. Ken Riley also in there. Chuck Howley and Don Coryell were also named to the Hall of Fame. I don't know if it was Hall of Mid. Like Zach Thomas and Rondé Barber are possibly put in there into the mid tier. But you cannot go wrong with Revis or Thomas or Ware, I think. All right, let's get into what we did for the Super Bowl prop bets. And Alicia, you have access to these. So you can see how much red is in this section of the screen. Did not go well. We'll run through them real quick. The prop bets that we did this year. Who would have more passing yards, Hurts or Mahomes?
Wrong.
We all said Mahomes, Mr. Robert Taylor. He only had 182 yards. Hurts with 304. Who would score the first touchdown? I would have been right if the Chiefs would have gotten the ball first. Yeah. I said Travis Kelce. But unfortunately, they gave the ball to Philadelphia, and Jalen Hurts was the first touchdown. Mm-hmm. I got the second touchdown, though. And out of the 3 of us, I think I was the only one with a touchdown. A.J. Brown scored. He had that one crazy catch in the first half. So I had the second touchdown. I was close enough. I was also really close here. Who would have the most rushing touchdowns in the game? Jalen Hurts set the record for most rushing yards by a quarterback with 70, but did finish 6 yards short of Pacheco, who finished with 76. So none of us got that one right. Robert and I said Hurts. Brian said Miles Sanders. First one that any of us got right was Chris Stapleton's national anthem, over under 2 minutes and 5 seconds. The official time was 2 minutes and 1 second, 0.99 for anyone that cares. Me and Brian got that one right. And I do joke, but Robert Hagan really cared because I said under, and he was finding videos saying, oh, no, it's absolutely over. He found a video that was exactly 2 minutes and 5 seconds long and went, see, it's 2 minutes and 5 seconds, even though there was no national anthem for like the last 4 seconds of that video. But he was dead set on winning that one. Did not happen for him. Coin toss, because that's a very important prop bet you always have to do. I always go tails, was able to get it right with Robert. Brian was incorrect. The color of the Gatorade is another prop bet you always have to pick.
Purple.
It was a purple Gatorade this year.
Who decides I want purple Gatorade?
So I've heard a story, but real quick, I went yellow, just a very neutral-ish color. Robert and Brian, even though they picked the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, said red. Mm-hmm. But I have heard that during the Super Bowl, they have like just a line of Gatorade buckets ready. Mm-hmm. With a different color in each one. Okay. And it's just a random one that they'll go grab. I don't know if it's a true story or just
it would make sense.
An urban legend, but yeah, standard is under 145. But yeah, there's a lot of drawn out national anthems these days. But yeah, neither of us got the color of the Gatorade. One of the easy ones we had, will an extra point or field goal attempt hit an upright? Of course, we all said no. And
guess what the first one did?
Yeah,
the first one for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it doinked it right off the upright, the first field goal attempt in the game. This one I couldn't find, but I'll just say under because I can't remember a single time it happened. Actually, we got that right, but I put the wrong thing in there. So we got
there's more green now.
Yeah, I can change it.
Yeah, I don't remember that happening at all.
But we put, will the chains be used to measure more than one time? It was 1.5 times was the line. Mm-hmm. We all said under, and I don't remember a single time that the chains were brought out. So under was correct. The other layup was, will there be a scoregami?
What is that?
So a scoregami is a score that's never happened before.
Oh, okay.
It's the first time in NFL history the score happens. It's for nerds like me and probably Denny Grubb. Scoregamis are really exciting.
So Denny, when there's a scoregami this year, you're gonna have to tell me for baseball.
Baseball's a little different because just the way it works.
You never know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's going to be times where scoregami happens. Oh, Robert Hagan is on letting us know that Clarkson boys trail 30-17 at halftime, and the girls are crushing Shadow Park 41-21. Pullman girls are also leading. We'll get to those here in the next hour when we hit the more local stuff, as district play is going on for the state of Washington and both the boys and the girls. But yeah, no scoregami in the Super Bowl. 38-35 has happened before. And then our two commercial ones, I couldn't find anything too crazy, but basically which commercial plays first, Doritos or M&Ms? Again, I don't think Doritos ever happened.
There was a reply to that, Robert Taylor, because Frito-Lay promoted popcorners instead of Doritos.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I don't know which came first though, M&Ms or popcorners. The M&Ms did make a comeback though.
Yeah, but M&Ms is the one that the website that I was using said did come first. So M&Ms did win it. So Robert Hagan got that one correct. Which commercial would play first, Heineken or Budweiser? I don't remember a good Budweiser commercial either this year.
I remember the Blue Moon commercial.
Where they were pretending that there were the other beers first.
It was Coors Light, Miller Lite, ended up being, no, it's the Blue Moon commercial.
Which nobody remember that in
it was weird.
a few weeks. It was just silly commercials.
It was interesting.
But Heineken ended up being the correct answer. None of us got that one right. And I still don't believe this. But how many times would Tom Brady be mentioned? It was over under 1.5. It was under.
Mm-hmm.
I thought with Mahomes, well, I guess Mahomes was trailing for most of the game, but with all of the will Mahomes pass Brady, Brady retire, I thought they were going to talk about him all game long.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if it was the Tony Romo group, they would have.
Yeah.
But Greg Olsen is fantastic. And he did not. Yeah, Haley doesn't remember a Budweiser commercial.
Yeah, I don't
either.
Because it's the Clydesdales.
Yeah.
I don't remember
we didn't get
Clydesdales at all.
We don't get the Coke polar bears anymore.
No.
None of it. So out of the 12 prop bets, we all got 4 right. So out of all of it, it became a 3-way tie. So that was really disappointing.
Congratulations.
In the end. All right. So now that the NFL season is over, we can get into my 3 favorite seasons of the whole year. And the NFL season's great. But there are 3 seasons that I can now focus on now that the NFL is over. I know you can name one of them.
Yes, I can.
Are you able to name the other 2?
Racing?
No, I almost put that in there.
NASCAR? No.
Yeah, because NASCAR goes into the NFL, and I almost put that in there too. It would be my 4th. NASCAR
hockey season's wrapping up too, so it's not hockey.
Nope. You won't get the other 2. One of them's a complete
Is it bowling?
joke. No, bowling's been going on.
Oh, I don't know. Obviously, baseball.
Yeah, baseball is top. I'm so excited for the MLB season.
Is it one of the other football leagues?
Aussie Rules football.
Okay.
Starts in a few weeks.
Okay.
I while the XFL does come back, and Robert put a note in our deal that it is coming back, and what is it? The USFL is coming back for the second season, and I actually have to pay attention to USFL because I have said that if a league comes back for the second season, that I'll finally pay attention because none of these spring football leagues can ever make it past 1 year. No, we got into. I got made fun of for sailing a couple weeks ago. If you were not here for that one, it was fun. We did a sports-related draft with the greatest comebacks of all time because Minnesota had made that crazy comeback against Indianapolis, and I found one on sailing, and everyone made fun of me. Uncultured people. That's all I have to say. Also, I have no idea what event that was, but I found it.
It was probably sailing.
It was sailing.
Yeah.
But they didn't like it. So I lost the sports-related draft because I picked sailing.
What's the other one then?
I forget what else we picked.
What's the other?
Oh, the other one is the NFL offseason.
Wow.
As a Jets fan, the NFL offseason usually more important than the NFL season. This is where we have hope.
The hope is still alive. It gets renewed.
Guess what? We have the same record as the Kansas City Chiefs now.
All right. That's fair. There's the hope. You can hope again until week 1, then it's done.
Usually.
I know the feeling. I'm an Angel and Duck fan.
Yeah. Well, this year it's the Jets have said we're going to get a veteran quarterback. So now I got to go. Are we going to get Aaron Rodgers? Are we going to get Derek Carr? And then Robert Taylor tells me, they're looking into Ryan Tannehill.
So maybe the hope will end during the offseason.
This is the life of a Jets fan. It's been great. But no, baseball, we're getting ready to go. Pitchers and catchers. Yes, welcome to the world of an Oriole fan. I 100% agree. Pitchers and catchers that are part of the World Series Classic or World Baseball Classic, excuse
Mhm.
me, have been able to report. We're getting into all that fun stuff. One quick bit of news: Yu Darvish signed a 6-year extension for $108 million. Kind of a cheaper contract, I think, for what you're going to get out of Darvish. I think, right?
I don't know. I'm always bad with the money, but I mean, thinking about it, Darvish, the last couple years hasn't been. I don't think he really panned out to be exactly what everyone thought he was going to be the last couple years, because he's in San Diego still, or
San Diego,
yeah.
yeah.
He's not the dude in San Diego either. He's not their ace.
Yeah,
because they've got Joe Musgrove.
Mhm.
So,
but he's a very good number 2, and just
yes.
with how crazy some of the contracts have been, especially for pitchers.
Yeah, they've been
I think
a little crazy.
The Padres got a good win out of that one. Did talk about the World Baseball Classic. That is March 7th through the 24th or 21st. I'll ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Are you more excited to watch the WBC or more worried about your players playing in it and worried that they might get hurt for the actual season?
I'm an Angel fan. They're going to get hurt anyway. It doesn't matter.
You want them to get hurt
Mike
on
Trout,
or off the field?
Mike Trout will make it maybe to the All-Star break, and then, I mean, he's got his issues anyway. He's Captain America. He's captain of Team USA. Shohei Ohtani slides funny, and they pull him just to keep. They're going to take care of Ohtani. They're not going to do anything stupid with him. David Fletcher's playing for Team Italy, which is cool. Big David Fletcher fan. He's probably honestly my favorite Angel. He's coming off of an injury, so, and he's also not one of those teams I think that's going to be in it for a little while, like, you know, your top tier teams are going to be. I'm excited to watch. My mom's sister live in Arizona. They have tickets to watch Team USA play the Angels. So Mike Trout playing against his team. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm excited. I've never been to one of the games. I think Zach has. But if I didn't do what I did, I would like to go down and watch.
Right.
But I'm a little busy this time of year.
Yeah, I like the World Baseball Classic. I think the players get into it. It's a weird time of year to do it, just before the season and during the spring training.
Because they still have time if they do get hurt.
Yeah.
And it's because in the Olympics, one, it's not always in the Olympics anymore, and two, even when it is in the Olympics, it's in the middle of the season, so you're not going to get these top tier players that you get right now.
It would be interesting to see it come out after the season, so if somebody got hurt, they had time to recover.
Yeah,
but then
like
you're still not going to get some of the top tier players because they're going to go, we just played the World Series.
Exactly. And they're going to go down. They play down south in the colder months. So, no, I'm excited.
I mean, it's the only place you can do it unless you do a hockey where you take a few weeks off from the actual season.
MLB's not going to do because they already take a week off for the All-Star break. Yeah.
So it is one of those times where you just kind of hold your breath and hope no one gets hurt. And you have they have so much fun.
Yeah.
I remember there was one of the plays in there where I think, was it Javier Baez or whatever, tagged somebody out at second without even looking because he was pointing at the catcher the whole time, just having a good time with it. Already Nestor Cortez is injured just from throwing. So like you said, it's going to happen.
People are going to get hurt whether they play here or with their MLB teams.
It's you were talking about with the Angels and injuries. It's just the same thing as a Yankee fan. When somebody goes, is the Yankee pitching healthy?
No.
The answer is for now.
Yeah. Is it ever really?
Getting a number 9 jersey and putting TikTok boy on the back. That's great. I approve of that. There was a fight on Twitter today. Juju came out with a Valentine's card about I'll hold you on Valentine's Day and had the picture of the Eagles player on it. And AJ Brown, the wide receiver for the Eagles, went after Juju, and Taylor and I were having fun with it. So that I will totally approve of getting TikTok, because he called him TikTok boy on his response. So I approve of that. It's fantastic. Nice. Speaking of, Robert did put on our notes, Robert Hagan, not Robert Taylor, about the games played for WBC and where you can watch them. You can watch them on Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports 2, and Tubi.
Oh, I've heard of Tubi.
So there you go. You watch it on Tubi. Now you're gonna have to figure out what the rabbit hole thing is.
The rabbits are gonna come get you and make you watch it on Tubi.
Absolutely. Get your takes on these, because I don't remember the last time we had you on as a guest.
It's been a while.
But now that this is now time to get ready for the new rules that they are bringing out for baseball, and Hagan and I, I'm sure we'll talk about it several times. But what are your thoughts on the pitch clock?
I am not opposed to a pitch clock. I'm opposed to a pitch clock when it makes the players then feel rushed.
Mhm.
I get having a 30-second pitch clock, but now it's getting down to 15 when there's nobody. Is it 15 when there's nobody on base?
Yeah.
And 20 when there's people on base. Because I was a pitcher, I don't want to feel rushed, because as a pitcher, you come up and you're taught, you control. Yeah, Zach, boo pitch clock. You control the tempo of the game. And for softball, when you're in the circle, you're controlling the tempo of the game. Don't rush me. It's such a mental game.
My question with it is, and I know they've been doing this in minor league parks, so there's a precedence for it.
Mhm.
Do they have a clock where the pitcher can see it? I know they've had one out in like outfield and stuff, so
They've
the
had it.
umpire can see it. But is there one?
I
like,
think there is one
behind
back
the
behind,
catcher?
and Zach can confirm. I think this one, but I'm pretty sure there was one back behind where the pitcher can see it.
Because
Because
that
otherwise you're gonna say, I didn't know. I'm not counting in my head. I've got other things
Yeah.
going on in my
But
head.
that would almost bug me even more of getting ready and you're like looking off to the left,
Exactly,
seeing
yeah.
how much time you have. And
Mhm.
though I think the pitch clock works great for somebody like Nestor Cortez, who has 97 different deliveries. So
Yeah.
all you have to do is start your delivery. So even if you're not ready, he can
You just
start
start there.
getting into it, and he'll just have his own weird ass timing in it. And
So, yeah.
he does believe
There
there
is
is.
one, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
One that I have fought against, and at the end, it's just we'll see how it works and see if just get people to stop crying about it. I guess is they're getting rid of the shifts, so you have to have two people on each side of second base, and they have to stay on the infield dirt.
I don't like that one.
I still don't understand why MLB players cannot adjust to it.
Exactly. If everybody, this is where bunting is not as big of a thing in the big leagues, and people say no bunting. Granted, I played a different game. I played softball. It's part of the game. There's nobody there down the line. Lay one down.
Absolutely.
But also too, I mean, let the defense do what it wants to do. It's a strategy. It's not cheating. Don't tell the players where to play. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of banning the shift. Just work around it. Don't like it, play better.
I'm 100% with you. And actually, we actually started seeing the shift in the NAIA level, especially during the Cascade Conference tournament, where you start seeing teams that have played each other a lot. There was a lot of shifting. There really wasn't much in the World Series, just because, again, you're not playing teams you've seen a lot of, so you're not understanding tendencies as much. But I did see that a lot during the conference tournament, and even then, it was not bunted against that much. Players just tried to hit around it, and they
can't. But learn how to bunt. It's such a good tool, and I know that is a hot take for a lot of baseball players. I don't know. Learn to bunt, because you're going to need it in certain situations. Being able to lay down just a basic sacrifice bunt is such a good tool to have.
And then the other two big rules that will be changing really help with the steals aspect of it, which would go down with the bunting as well. But they've made bases bigger, which I've now seen comparisons, and it's a decent.
And I am all for
size
I'm all
difference.
for that one for safety reasons. Absolutely.
And I guarantee you, a weekend of the season, nobody's gonna look at it and go, "Oh, look how huge those bases are." We're all gonna get used to it.
I mean, I can still picture Max Muncy getting his arm just about snapped off because there was not enough space. And they teach you when you're.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, with the amount of home runs that happen.
But I mean, when you're running, you have that running lane. The base is not in the running lane. So I'm all for bigger bases and giving just that extra couple inches to a runner or to a fielder.
I still think they need to go with the Little League route, and on first base, have the second base off to the side.
They've talked about it. Well, college softball level, they've talked about it because they've had the same type of injuries at college softball level. But that's a bang sport.
Though I did play, I mean, this is years ago. I'm so far out of shape to be able to play in a softball tournament now. But playing in a softball tournament years ago with the extra base, and I still got ran over at first base because they were like, "I'm not stepping on that base. It doesn't count." And yes, it does.
It does. It does count. Trust me. I've been stepped on at first base. It counts.
I didn't get stepped on. I got destroyed. Oh, you leaned into me. No, it did not. Just better. It is what it is. But then, and the other one, just they're limiting pickoffs.
That's weird.
Which will be awkward.
Well, they're doing something similar at the NAI level too, to where you can only step off once now.
Stepping off, I think, is a little different than the pickoffs. Honestly, at the NAI level, pickoffs are bad for the pitcher.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've seen a pitcher throw
chuck it
over
in
to
the right-
first
yeah.
more than one time,
Yeah. Or just
like
have somebody
the
get
percentage of them that end up in the right field is way too
Mhm.
high. But with Major League Baseball, yes, it can get a little tiresome, and I do understand the point, but
Mhm.
this is going to get exploited.
I don't like this rule.
Mm-mm.
I don't like this rule at all.
And then the extra inning rules
I hate
in
this.
to stay.
I mean, I had this all through softball.
Mhm.
We don't even do this here at
Mhm.
this level of NAIA baseball. I think this is dumb.
I'm not a fan. I like the extra innings as they are, but I'll get used to it.
Mhm.
It is what it is. I still wish that they would make it like the 12th or 13th inning. I'm glad that they have changed the position player pitching rule where you have to be down by 10
Oh, really?
now before you throw.
I didn't know that one.
So it's only the 9th inning or extra innings that you can have a position player pitch, and you have to be down by at least 10.
Does that include the extra innings?
Mhm.
Well, what if you run out of pitching?
Well, we get down by 10.
See, that's when it gets.
But-
I don't like that one.
But extra runner, there's not been many times where
Yeah.
the extra innings are going into the 15th, 16th, 17th inning.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's a little different
Yeah.
where you're not using as many pitchers. So
Yeah.
those two rules combined, I think, work out pretty well. I
Mhm.
believe that is the rule. I believe it starts on the 9th and on, but there were just too many of them last year.
Yeah, the Angels did just sign Brett Phillips.
Well, now he's useless unless you put relief pitcher at one of his positions, because you can be a two-way player.
Jared Walsh is I believe it's Jared Walsh is technically a two-way player
I wonder
if he ever plays baseball again.
what you have to do to just change that, and then all of a sudden these position players just are two-way players. Surprise, we're the new Otanis, but we're only two ways once every so often.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do that, you might as well just put everybody down as a two-way player.
Yeah.
Why
I
not?
don't think there's anything against it. I don't
Yeah.
think you have to pay them more.
I mean, Ichiro would be like, sign me up, two-way player.
Right.
Done.
Absolutely. Real quick, we will talk the NBA news, because there was some decent news. I guess LeBron.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
LeBron did pass Kareem for the most points in
How'd the
NBA
Lakers do in that game?
history. I don't know. I don't watch the NBA.
They probably lost.
I think they did.
They
to
are
be
not
fair,
good.
he does, pass Kareem. I did watch the video of it. It's a very cool moment. I'm not a big NBA
Me
fan,
either.
and I will just say this right now, and this is not a get off my lawn moment, but scoring is way up in the NBA because nobody plays defense anymore. So
No.
it's like the passing records in the NFL. Of course, they're going to get broken because the game's different.
Yeah.
Those that are saying LeBron's now the GOAT, you just calm down.
Yeah,
It's just
take a chill pill.
he is great,
Yes,
And
he
he
is one
is-
of the greatest to ever play the game.
and there are other reasons why you can put him as the GOAT. This is not one of them. It's
Mhm.
just because the game is different. It's like saying Steph Curry is. Well, I'll take that back, because yes, Steph Curry is the greatest three-point shooter of all time. However,
That was not the game back then.
Three-pointers weren't a thing
Exactly.
for far. No, Kobe is not the GOAT.
Hey,
You calm down.
That was my favorite basketball player growing up.
But he could be your favorite.
Well, I mean, we were casual.
John
Laker
Starks
fans.
was my favorite player, but
See,
I would
okay,
nowhere near
I had
even put
no
him as
idea
a GOAT.
who John Stockton was until I moved here. Now I talk to him every
No,
time
no,
he's at a game.
John Starks.
Oh, well, you said
Yeah,
John
the
Stockton. I thought you were talking about
Knicks-
Sam.
Knicks player that is mostly known for getting his
Not
head
Sam's dad?
knocked off. No, John Stockton was great.
Oh yeah, he's pretty
but
good. Nice
he
guy.
played pretty good. LeBron, Lakers,
Last place.
I
I
love
don't
it.
root for good teams typically.
And then also there was the trade deadline, so we saw a bunch of players get moved. I don't care, though. I will say that I find the NBA trades to be the funniest thing in the history of all trades, and I wish other sports would start taking this on. There was a trade that happened where I want to say 6 second-round picks got moved in the trade. There was a trade that involved a second-round pick in 2029, which is 6 years from now.
The child is in elementary school.
Yes, that was the joke. Somebody in junior high just got traded.
That's wild. I don't like that. I don't know.
It just those trades always make me laugh. Or they do a pick swap in the NBA where it's
so weird.
if I have a worse record than you in 2027, then we'll swap picks. However, if you're worse than me, then you'll keep your good pick, and then we just won't worry about it. It's like you just get the best pick in the second round between the two of us. Or I think the Knicks made a trade where it's like, all right, you can have my first round pick unless it's in the top 13 or whatever. But then, so I get to keep it. But if I keep it, then you get like 4
This
second
sounds like
round
a
picks.
child's game.
None of it makes sense.
Trading baseball cards is not this complicated.
I saw Khalil at the Lewis and Moscow game, and I asked him about these NBA trades, and he went, nobody's going to remember.
You saw who?
I saw Khalil.
Oh, I thought you said Coolio.
Coolio? No.
I was like, what is Coolio doing at the Lewis and Moscow game?
Didn't he pass away?
Yeah, I think he did.
No, I saw Khalil.
Even more reason to be concerned.
Yeah. He was there helping coach the last Lewiston game. And I was talking to him about these trades, and it was absolutely crazy. So, I'm going to figure out how to do this with
I was
going to
say, how do we want to do this?
You want to interview her?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, that's what I do for a living anyway.
You'll come over here.
Your mic's broken, Annika.
Yeah,
So you're gonna
the
take Randy's
cameras
seat.
all died.
The cameras? Are the microphones?
Everything died.
Everything's dead.
My brain died. So
Uh,
I'm going to change my name on here, and I'll confuse everybody. And then we will have a guest. You go ahead and introduce her while I get her set up.
all right. So joining us, Junior from the Lewis. Well, I mean, you did go to Lewiston. LC State Track and Field, Annika Grogan. Lewiston native. You're now the elder of the Lewiston group. You were, it was, I think when you were a freshman, it was just you.
Yeah, it was.
And then now you've got quite a few teammates who went to high school with you. Emily didn't end up making it tonight, but the weekend, just talk about the season in general, how everything's kind of transitioned from being a distance dominated program to you're a sprinter, Madigan does hurdles, Jen is a high jumper, Emily's a sprinter, and then even just over the weekend we had a pole vault record broken, Sydney from Orofino in the triple jump. It's just the program has branched out so much from when it first started.
Yeah. I think this season that we I don't know, I think personally we've done pretty darn well, especially with like the locals. I think it makes the team dynamic a lot more like comfortable for like newcomers to come on because we all know one another. So I feel like it's very like a family atmosphere, I feel like. So it makes it easier for newcomers to come join in, I guess, in a way. But yeah.
I mean, you have Madigan, Jenna, who are sophomores, Emily, who's a freshman. And does it feel like she's the coach's kid?
No, I don't know. I wouldn't really say that at all. I think she's thrown into different events and I'm like, did your dad ever put you did your dad put you in those? And she's like, I mean, yeah, but I did not even like ask to be put into it. He just did. I mean, so it's just like one of those things where nobody ever like labels her as like the coach's kid for sure.
She's just another one of the studs on the team.
Yeah.
You guys have one more meet for regular season indoor. You've hit the B in both the 400 and 200.
Yes, and then we just hit the B in the 4x4 with Emily on it. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah.
So talk about what are the goals for this last meet before nationals?
I would say the goals for this next meet would be to probably hit the A standard in the 4x4. I don't know if we're going to take it or not to this next meet, but that would be the main goal for sure.
Yeah. So what do you prefer, 200 or 400?
Oh, the 200.
Yeah.
I would say the 400 last year just because I was like on a roll with it. But now I feel like this year for sure the 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What feels different now? I mean, you've been through it. This is your third time going through it. Then you had a little adversity this year too.
Yes.
So just talk about how you feel like the difference from your freshman year to now.
A lot. There's a lot of difference. I was not as good as I was like my freshman year compared to this year. I think patience was for sure the major key that like played a big role into it. I was not expecting to be as good as I was, especially even coming out of high school. So that was pretty cool. But I think coming from like freshman year to now, I feel like every year I'm like enjoying it more and more every year. Yeah.
So looking at other people who have hit their marks, Carter Gordon just hit the A,
Yes.
Nick hit the B with the pole vault. London is tearing it up this year in the sprints. And you have freshmen who aren't quite hitting those marks yet, but you have people like Jed Barnaby who are still breaking records.
Yeah.
Who has impressed you a lot this year? Both as we do have some talented freshmen this year,
Mhm.
and also people who weren't quite there last year but are really making waves this year.
Honestly, I would say London. I like truly, honestly, London, and surprisingly, like not surprisingly, like they work really hard. I think Jed has worked so hard, like immensely, but so is like London. Like he works hard, I feel like, on and off the track, just as well as like Emily does or any one of us. But he's always in the training room getting his like stuff prepared before meets. Like for sure, I think London is the one that's like impressed me the most. And I mean, I think truly he deserves it the most too.
Tim Barker says you're his hero.
Hey. Thanks, Tim.
And you guys got to see a couple different venues this year. Pretty much all of your indoor meets last year were at the podium. You had the one at Idaho, and this year you got to see a new venue with EOU's track.
Yes.
And it's a little different.
Yeah, it's a 175-meter track. I did not go to that meet, but I heard a few stories about some kids losing their shoes on the track because of how tight the corners is. So, yeah.
And so you'll have that this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm competing in it, but I'm sure like there's only like a couple of us, I think, going. But yeah. So we'll see. But I think even at nationals, it's a 200-meter track, but it's flat, not
It's
banked.
similar to U of I.
Yes.
Which was a really good meet for you guys.
Yes.
A very good meet. I mean, I don't even know how many graphics I made for school records being broken in that meet.
Yeah.
I felt like I was sending you emails every few minutes with new graphics.
Yeah. No. It'll be fun, I think, at nationals.
Who's the most exciting teammate to watch?
Exciting.
We'll go track and field. So most exciting track teammate, most exciting field teammate.
I would have to say, I don't know. I don't want to be like biased here with Madigan, but I think Madigan, I think it's so cool. I don't know. Hurdles is just like a different event. And I mean, it's obviously like you're jumping over something. So I mean, I wouldn't know what it's like, but I think it's so fun to watch in such a quick race that like, I think that's like the most entertaining for me to watch her, especially her improvement. Like her improvement is always there constantly. She's getting better and better.
You mean every single heat?
Yes, every single heat. She's just getting better and better. And so it just is impressive to see how far she's has like honestly have grown since freshman year or let alone even like high school. And then I would say field athlete. I don't know. I feel like the pole vaulters always tear it up down there no matter what it is. I think Nick Bertling or like Christian, whenever he does pole vault or even high jump, I think is really entertaining to me.
Well, you have athletes like Christian and Jenna and Sarah this past weekend, Caleb, Ian, who I can barely run a 60, but they're out there doing 5 to 7 events in one weekend. That's wild. I can't imagine having to do that.
Yeah, no, it impresses me a lot how much like, especially with Jenna, like being on the volleyball team and then just straight going to like indoor track season and not only doing just one event but doing multiple events.
That's crazy. So South Dakota, you've been there a couple times. Talk about the facility and what you guys are looking forward to for going out there.
So it'll be in Brookings. So it'll be in Brookings. It's a 200-meter track, so it's flat. It's not banked like it is up at the podium. So it'll be a good run. I ran there my freshman year, I think is where we were at. But I feel like the main goals is to just produce as many All-Americans as we can this race. I think the DMR has a very good shot at it for sure. They're like ranked, I think, either 6th or 5th in the nation right now. Same with the 4x4. I know we only hit B standard, but I feel like even if we were to get that time up just a little bit, we would be just as like close to an All-American as the DMR is. So main goal is to produce as many All-Americans as we can down there. So yeah.
All right. Yeah. I know you typically close things out with guests with questions and.
You want the goofy questions?
You have them on here?
Yeah, if you scroll down.
Oh, still going.
We just have a generic thing. Right.
Oh, too far. I went too far. No. Okay. So let me see if I can sum this up correctly with Randy on the mic. They like to end their interviews with some fun questions.
No, super serious.
Super serious questions.
Oh.
You really got to think about these answers, Annika.
Okay.
All right. So do I ask her all of them?
Here last year.
Huh?
You can pick.
All right. Do you have any? So you're fast.
Yeah. So yeah.
You're good at track, is what we're saying. But do you have any hidden talents?
Hidden talents? I can do like the 3-leaf clover with my tongue. That's about it, though. That's about it.
Well, now you actually
I have to show them? Okay.
You can't just say it. Okay, I believe you now. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have a lot of teammates, and we already talked about them. So let's go. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yes, I did. Well, like yes and no.
Do you watch a lot of other sports?
Like basketball?
We were just right after we talked about how much we don't like watching basketball. Okay, how about this? What's your favorite sports team then? If you're not,
What's my favorite
Yeah,
sports team?
yeah.
I don't know. That's a hard one. I don't know.
no. What sport do you watch the most? That's not track and field.
That's not track and field.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my dad always has like baseball going. So the LA Dodgers. There you go. Baseball team.
You're done. Get out.
Oh.
It's my husband's favorite team. He's a Dodger fan.
Yeah, huge. My dad is a huge Dodgers fan for sure.
Well, that's done. And then you want to do word association?
Maybe you have a couple players, yeah.
I know the entire roster. It's literally my job. So word association, first word or two that come to mind when talking about whoever I'm going to name.
Whoever you're gonna name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll start with one of the obvious ones being Madigan.
Fast. Yeah, fast.
Okay. What about Sarah Hathaway?
Great team player.
Yeah.
Great team player. Yeah.
Sydney Zawina.
A crackhead. A literal crackhead.
You could have just said
She-
maniac and it would have made
yeah,
sense.
maniac. Seriously, yeah. She has a lot of energy.
What about G?
A bad and then a word that I probably shouldn't say out loud.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And then we've had some coaching shifts this year. So we'll just say, let's say Curtis Bonner.
A great coach.
Yeah.
For what he's had to do. Yeah. For sure.
All right. And then I know they like to end it like this. Annika.
A great team player. A great teammate.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
Well, thanks for coming. Whoop,
Thank you.
the record. Randy, you broke it.
Better
What'd I do?
stay as well.
There you go.
Sweet.
Thanks, Annika.
Yeah. Thank
Thanks.
you.
You're fine. We had to adjust. Oh, is he here? He's here already? Sure.
Okay.
Who's
Yeah.
here?
Sweet. So I like this where I don't have to do anything.
It's like we're still working.
I just get out of the way. Still trying to figure out why the microphones were working. The whole time I was looking over at like different cords
Are
and
you
stuff.
sure that XLR is not supposed to be plugged in anything?
Well, because these microphones get plugged in up and through, so I don't know where
can't hear
this
this?
one came from. Well, it's not on right now.
Well, then you wouldn't be able
Which
to hear.
one are you?
This
Yeah,
one?
put on 3. Tap it again. Yeah, I was just hearing it through your microphone.
Oh, well.
So yeah, I don't know what is happening. Boo!
You broke it.
Have you come over right over
Yeah,
here?
we had some technical difficulties. You're going over to Randy's seat.
Yeah, I'm just making Alicia do all the work, and then she'll interview you.
Hey,
Since
come
none
guest
of-
host.
none-
Hey, come do the whole thing.
That was the secret. More people are watching this way. It's been great.
Hi, Pooh.
Hi.
There you go. There you go.
Cool.
Have a seat, bud. We're live.
Are we streaming this?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
All right, we got Pooh Kani Disa from the LC State baseball team. Pooh, you're a junior this year.
Yes.
We're going to say junior. Who knows anymore?
Junior. Yeah.
You're from Hilo, Hawaii. Played at
Yes.
Cypress College before coming over here to LC State. So you guys just finished up a pretty intensive road trip.
Yeah.
Playing some of the top teams in the country, a rematch with Southeastern, a rematch with Shreveport. You guys faced Kaiser, St. Thomas, Warner, and Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So talk about the road trip a little bit. I know you guys went 4-2, knocked
Yeah.
off some ranked teams with essentially a brand new team.
Yeah.
So talk about the takeaways from that trip.
It was good to, obviously those teams have been to the World Series multiple times, and we have a lot of new guys. So it was good for them to see the competition that we're going to see in the end, and what we need to do to beat them in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good. It was a good trip, good learning experience, and we're going to carry that on to the rest of our season, and hopefully it goes well.
And then you made the jump from your third base. You're filling the shoes of AJ Davis over at second base, which is no small feat for anybody, especially in this valley. Talk about that move for you a little bit and what it means to be playing in that role now.
It feels good. I used to play second base in junior college, and I played third last year. And then moving back to second, it's a lot better. I miss playing there, and obviously trying to fill in AJ's shoes, it's a big task, but trying my best.
Yep, and you've had a decent start to the season. You were Cascade Conference Player of the Week for first time in your career. LC State went back to back with Players of the Week. You didn't do too bad in that last day in Florida, 7 for 9.
Yeah,
you're batting 500 so far this year. So, do you feel like something just kind of clicked during series? Because you had a hot bat during series, you had a broken bat during series.
Yeah, I think.
But I mean, you're on a hitting streak stemming back from the tournament.
Yeah, I think just the confidence that played a big role. You know, especially playing every day. You know, last year, obviously, there was 3 of us that were playing third base every other day, and then towards the end, I kind of I started playing there every day, seeing pitches every day, and I got more comfortable, more confident, and you know, it's carried over to this year. And this summer, I worked out a lot with my dad, just trying to hone my craft, and you know, it feels good.
All right, and then this weekend, you guys faced somebody who you became very familiar with last year. You played UBC 9 times last year, every game of it here in Lewiston, a regular season conference matchup, and then Cascade Conference tournament in the Cascade Conference title game, opening round championship. The only time they got you guys was to force that opening round, that winner take all game.
Yeah.
They look different this year too.
Yeah.
So what are you expecting going into this weekend with it being the home opener as well?
I'm expecting a dogfight. I think they're going to come out hot. You know, their hair is probably on fire from last year, you know, us getting them out, but it's going to be a good series. And I know they got a lot of guys coming back, so they're going to be a good team. So it's going to be fun.
And talking about guys coming back, you're back. Nick Siemens is back, and he's had a hot bat since the season started. He's got 6 home runs in 6 games. But you got Dom back at third. But you guys do have a lot of new people.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the newcomers and who's impressed you so far.
I love our team. I love the talent that we have. I think the part that we need most is just the chemistry between all of the new guys and stuff. But we have a lot of good talent out there, and I think it's going to come together soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about on the mound? You guys actually returned quite a bit on the mound with GT and Cam.
Yeah.
Trevin's back, but then you guys have some new arms that have made it's competitive now to get innings.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Some good lefties that we got. Cole's looking really good. Dallas McGill, some good pitchers we got coming in. So.
And what's it like to face those guys when you guys scrimmage?
It's tough. Those guys are good, but it's a lot of fun just to compete level and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. So this weekend against UBC, home opener. This is your second time around now, so it's your second home opener. Your first one really in that firm starter role. What are your emotions going into this new season?
I'm extremely confident, you know, in our abilities as a team and in my abilities. I feel good. I'm ready to go. I can't wait.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun playing in front of the Warrior fans. So it's gonna be cool.
And you guys get to face UBC twice during the regular season. This one, obviously, Cascade Conference is a little weird where you guys will play. You'll play UBC, you'll play C of I, and then there's one more EOU or somebody where you're on the road for that one.
Yeah,
and those are non-conference. And then March rolls around and
EOU is non-conference.
The first conference tournament is going to be in March against Corbin.
Oh, okay.
All right, Denny, what you got? Warrior baseball. Only 3 errors in 6 games. Pooh, you're perfect out of 19 total chances.
Thank you.
Yeah, Denny. No, you remember Denny? We named the press box after him last year.
Oh yeah.
Denny knows all. Whenever I have a question,
thanks, Denny.
I mean, Denny had an answer for me today, even.
Nice.
Thank you, Denny. But yeah, should we jump into the questions, right?
Have some fun questions.
We got some fun questions. So you haven't been on this show yet, Pooh.
Yes, I have not.
So I am not normally on this show either. I am filling in this week. But
everything's broken.
And everything, not because I'm here.
That's true.
I have my own equipment that I am currently breaking up in my office. You want the game stream this weekend, Pooh? You want live stats? Well, actually, that's kind of a Denny thing.
I saw the video board today. You got the stats.
Oh yeah, I've been working on that.
It looks good. It looks good.
Oh, the graphic. Thank you. The stats. We're still working on that part. Yeah, Denny, we'll talk about this weekend later, Denny. We might have stats on the video board. We might not. I'll figure it out. All right, but we got some very serious questions for you to answer before you go.
Okay.
The first one being, this is kind of an obvious one, but we're gonna stick with it. What's a couple of your nicknames?
Pooh.
Yeah.
Sticks.
Because you're number 11.
Yeah. My nickname that my family calls me is Brada.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that I go by.
Just mostly Pooh.
Yeah, mostly Pooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
For out here.
Yeah.
Because they have a hard time pronouncing my full name.
What, Pooh Connie?
Pooh Cunny, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pooh Cunny.
Yeah. Pooh's just easier. It's quicker.
Yeah, way easier.
Less chance of people mispronouncing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. What is the correct percentage of peanut butter to jelly?
Ooh. I'm a big jelly guy. I like a lot of jelly on mine. I'd say 60-40. 60% jelly, 40% peanut butter.
How do you construct the sandwich?
What do you mean?
Like, do you just put 60% of the jelly on one, 40% of the peanut butter on the other?
Yeah, I just put a spoonful of jelly, spread it out, and then
The peanut butter
something
on the other bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then done?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's one of your favorite teammates to play with? Because I know you don't have but just one favorite, but who's one of your favorites to play with?
On our team?
Yes.
Nick Siemens, my bro, keep it clean. Our both been going.
You guys are both on a hitting streak.
Yeah.
Send it back to series. So you two, it's been fun so far.
Yeah.
And then we do word association. So I'm going to name off different teammates.
Okay.
And I want you to name the first word or two that comes to mind when you hear their name. And
Okay.
we'll start with Nick Siemens.
So I should say a word?
Yeah, a word or a phrase that comes to mind when you think of Nick.
Can't say that. I'm just kidding.
Pooh.
I don't know. First word that comes to mind. His dog. He's a dog.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
All right.
You'll see when we if either of us hits a home run, we have this thing where we meet each other at home plate and we do this. It's our new thing.
It's your new handshake.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Charlie Updegrave?
Big dog. Big boy, yeah. Big country. Big chop.
All right. We'll throw one of the newbies out there. Let's go Cruz Hepburn,
Oh, Cruz.
the new one that we're going to be picking on.
We'll go with numbnuts. That's what we call them.
Yeah.
Numbnuts, yeah. He won't like that, but that's what we call them.
All right. Greg Blackman.
Greg Blackman. I see him just as a leader. He's a leader for the team. That's why I see it.
Okay.
Every time I think of Greg, it's just the leader.
All right. Jake Taylor.
The best coach out there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
He's not listening, but we'll tell him you said that.
Yeah.
All right. And then Pooh. You.
Flying Hawaiian. What are we going with?
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect.
Sweet.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I've seen this.
It's better when it works.
Yeah.
When it's fully, it's working. It just,
Yeah.
I'm doing more work than Randy is.
People can see this. It's
Yeah.
live.
Yeah. People are watching us right now, Pooh.
Oh, nice.
Feel like see that camera? Wave
Yeah.
to the people.
This one?
Yeah. The one.
What's
Yeah.
up? What's up?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Give the headset back to Randy. Then I actually have to ask Pooh a
All right.
work question real fast.
Sure.
So
Thanks, Randy.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man. Oh. All right. So there you go. And during all of that, Robert Hagan had updated on the Clarkston games. You can't say hi when he leaves. But the Clarkston girls do defeat Rogers 69-39. The boys' season, I believe that's right. Their season is now done for the boys. They lose 59-57. Robert, let me know who Clarkston plays in the championship game. I would guess it's Pullman. You were saying Pullman was just barely ahead in that contest, but I'll have you update me there. Yes, it is Pullman. So there you go. Or maybe he was saying yes, the Clarkson boys are done. That's what happens when you have a delay. Is you ask 2 questions and you don't know what answer they did. But that was very cool. We get Shadle Park defeated Pullman. Okay, so Shadle Park and Clarkson will be in the championship game tomorrow, Thursday, something. Robert will let me know. Very cool having Annika Grogan on here and Pooh as well as they both have a lot of the craziness that is happening for you.
What are you talking about? I can't. Are you gonna make me interview the next person coming on too? Oh, I
Yeah.
changed the name on there.
Oh, now who do we got?
Yeah.
I have to scroll down and find out. Oh yeah, you got to have. I've interviewed Callie enough.
I work with her every day. Addie might stop by. She's gonna try and get out of.
Okay.
She has a meeting for class, but had some shifting.
Send you a link to what? What are you talking about? What is Hagan talking about? You're on the show. If he's trying to get like on the stream, you can't be on the stream because we can't put you on the board because then we can't go. Your voice would not go out to the stream. That's what
That's
happens
not
with
how
the
it works.
radio. That's
Radio.
Jeez, man. It's like it's first time, not his 121st episode or whatever we're at now.
121? Is that what this is?
121, yeah. 121st episode and nothing is working. But that's okay, because then we're going to make
That's
you
all right.
work. And
It's not like I got enough going on.
right.
I was up in the press box for pretty much more than half the day working in the press box, just getting that ready and having things just still not working.
All right, real quick, since we had those 2 interviews pop up, let me real quick run you down the rest of the high school slate that is going on. Obviously, the 2 Clarkson games are now finished up. So the Clarkson boys have been eliminated. As I said, Clarkson will be playing in the championship game on Thursday against Shadow Park. That'll be right here in Clarkston. So good luck to the Phantoms there. But in Idaho, the girls are already into the state tournament that will start this week. I believe all of them start on Thursday. Coeur d'Alene ended up being the champion for the Inland Empire League in the 5A. They will take on Eagle, who beat Lake City, also part of the Inland Empire League. They won the state play-in game there. So Coeur d'Alene will play Eagle on Thursday. I have seen that Coeur d'Alene team. They are very good. They have 3 or 4 fantastic shooters on that team. Obviously, when you go down and play some of the teams in Southern Idaho, there's some fantastic talent down there. But there's a reason why 3 of the 4 teams in the Inland Empire League were ranked in the top 6 of the state. And that just the league that Lewiston was forced to play in this year on the girls' side is really good. So we'll see what the Vikings can do. Grangeville will be the 6th seed in the 2A state tournament. They finished 3rd at state last year. They'll take on Coal Valley on Thursday. We'll see what they can do. And just like almost every year lately, Lapway is 1 and Prairie is 2 in the girls' Class 1A Division 1 state tournament. Lapway will take on Lakeside. Prairie takes on Greenleaf, and those 2 teams played in the championship game last year, Lapway and Prairie. We saw them also at the Avista Holiday Tournament championship game, which had Lewiston and Clarkson in it, and it still ended up with 2 small schools playing for the title. Those 2 teams are absolutely fantastic. That Lapway team.
They're both sides.
We all focus on the boys and how
the
good
girls team,
the boys team is. That girls team can beat a lot of top tier teams. As well.
I want to see both those teams go and play teams from other states. Like I get that they play the top, the boys play the top team in Oregon, but I want to see them go to California, to Arizona, play, in Nevada, play those top ranked teams and just see what happens. And
Don Walden from the Lewiston Tribune and I have had many conversations over the last 2 years, and he definitely goes out and takes credit for it now. And I don't blame him. He was the boss, but I want to see a end of the year tournament between all state winners.
That'd be fun. That'd be so expensive,
6,
but that'd be so fun.
Well, no, you just do it either just that next weekend.
Oh, you're talking like within Idaho State.
Within Idaho. There are 6 state champions.
Yeah.
In the state of Idaho. They're out of the 6 different divisions. Have those 6 meet for one weekend.
Like a mega state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have 5A and 4A get a bye in the first round and whatever. And let's go. I want to see Lapway play those teams. It would be great. And then at the end, you have 1 state champion. It would be fantastic.
That'd be cool.
So that hasn't happened yet. And I'm sure there'd be a lot of sponsorship that would be beautiful behind it. On the boys' side, districts are starting this week in the state of Idaho. The White Pine League starts on Wednesday. And then starting on Monday, all of those games will be at LHS. So if you have not went to a Lapway game at their home court, I suggest you do that tomorrow. I believe it is 6 o'clock.
Case, why not a junior?
He is a junior.
Okay.
But just the fantastic
Oh, hi, Mike.
gym. Mike Taco is now here. Big schools would never agree to it. I agree. But I still want to see it. That is for sure. If you've never been over there, and I haven't myself, and there's part of me that wants to go tomorrow, but Chase does have a big test on Thursday, and I have to be a good dad and make sure he's studying and stuff.
That's nice.
I wanted to take him to the game, but it would not help his studying at all. But the Lapway experience is absolutely fantastic, especially if you are a wrestling fan. Their intro, if you're a wrestling fan, will make you laugh. I can tell you off air, it's fantastic. Yes, family first and stuff. I get it. We'll see. Maybe we'll be there. And I'll
it's
be
a good family experience.
Yeah, it's a good family experience.
It's a brain
to watch
break.
Lapway win by 70.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after the Wednesday games, once they hit Monday, all of the games will be at LHS, and then you can watch Lapway even closer. Guys, no. academics and stuff. I know I probably won't go. Lewiston and I will travel up to Coeur d'Alene on Friday. I've made that trip so many times already this month, and it's just going to continue. So we'll see what the Bengals can do against the Vikings. They did lose to them twice here in the regular season. We'll see if they can turn things around. And actually, I'm going to ask you this real quick. Something I've not brought up on the Bingo radio, because I'm just there to call play-by-play and try to be impartial and not get too into the weeds of thought processes and strategies and stuff. I could do that here as just a dumb talking head.
Yeah.
That's my role here. So, 4-team tournament.
Okay.
The top team in this tournament is the best team in the state. Let's say they're like Lapway.
Okay.
Because that's the other reason. I really want to see this Lake City team play Lapway.
Yeah.
I think that game would be fantastic. But Lake City crushes everybody. Okay. You and Coeur d'Alene are pretty evenly matched, but Coeur d'Alene's got your number, the other two. And then Post Falls is just having an off year. Not very good this year. The way the tournament is set up, there's the winner between Coeur d'Alene and Lewiston will have to travel to Lake City to play in the championship game because Lake City is going to beat Post Falls.
Yes.
The loser goes down and will host Post Falls. So you get to play at home against a weaker team.
Yeah.
Most likely, whoever wins against Coeur d'Alene and Lewiston will lose to Lake City, and Lake City will win the district tournament.
Yeah.
And the other team will beat Post Falls. And then those two teams will meet again in a winner goes to the state playing game and the loser is out matchup. Would you rather go all in on Friday, get the win against Coeur d'Alene, and
then go play Lake City, smashed by Lake City,
just to play Coeur d'Alene again, or not go out all in, hide some of your different plays and stuff from Coeur d'Alene, take the loss, revamp and get good momentum against Post Falls at home, and then take Coeur d'Alene on in the last game. I still think we're getting two matchups between Lewis and Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah.
But which way would you go?
The competitive piece of me is always going to say you play your best. Like Jenny just said, all in every game.
I agree.
You got to
no coach will ever say
because
the
then
opposite.
then you teaching the kids just take the easy way to get there. But I think because you're going to play better teams. Say you win that playing game and you're going to play good teams. So don't take your foot off the gas.
I agree.
And especially because you never know. You could go out there and say, okay, now we got to play Post Falls, and something happens, and all of a sudden, oh no, we're not going to beat Post Falls. Oh no, we're done.
Right. Absolutely. Or the worst case scenario, Armageddon happens and Post Falls beats Lake City. And now you're playing Lake City loser out game. And none of that works.
Watch Lake City be playing the entire thing like that.
Yeah. It would be really bad. And I agree. You definitely, if you're a player, you go all in. And I obviously, if you ask Brooks' mom, the head coach for Lewiston, he will tell you the same thing.
Yep.
And I do not disagree. However, as a talking head, part of me wishes it's the other way because I would much rather stay home on Tuesday and cover Lewiston playing Post Falls than travel up to the Coeur d'Alene area 3 times in a week and a half period.
Oh, so this is for you.
It is very much for me. And to be fair, the last time Lewiston played Lake City in a district championship game, it was last year. And I think Lewiston lost by 60, and it wasn't even that close. However, last year at home, Lewiston did upset Lake City, which kind of pissed them off. So
this one's here.
This one's here. You're always a fantastic backup.
Yeah, I text her. I need you here at this time.
It's awesome. So that is where Lewiston is. They will play Coeur d'Alene on Friday, and yes, they will go all in. It was just an idea I've had in my head of which way do I would want it.
Randy's just trying to start fights.
That's what I'm here for. That's this job, I think, right? That's part of being a talking head. That's how Stephen A. Smith became so popular.
No one likes him
because he starts fights.
Yeah,
that's how it works. And then Kendrick and Deary are the top 2 seeds in the District 1A D2 White Pine League District Tournament. That starts on Monday. And again, the boys have been eliminated from Clarkston today. They lost a close one. And right now, Pullman is leading Rogers 22-11. Thank you, Hagan, for keeping us up to date on all of those. Pullman, different schedule because they were actually hosting both the boys and the girls today, which is also why you do not have both district tournaments happening at the same time. But that's just me. All right, I'm gonna get back out of the way and make Alisha do all the work again,
Again.
because I've already interviewed Miss Callie Stevens like 3 times on this show.
Thank for coming
And-
again.
and
Cal.
you-
Don't get too comfortable because you're not actually going to sit
Yeah,
right
you're
there.
gonna come over here. 'cause
We're having some mic issues.
These 2 microphones decided not
Randy
to work.
broke them.
Yeah, I unplugged them to make sure Alisha did all the work. And again, Hagen and I have interviewed Callie Stevens 2 or 3 times already, and you two just never talk. So I'm going to let you guys talk.
No, we never talk. She doesn't show up in my office every single day.
Go for it if you want.
If you want to hear me,
Oh, okay.
take some off.
These are these are big.
She's little.
I got it.
She's a little thing. Say hi to Robert.
Hello.
There you go. You wouldn't know by looking at her. But Callie Stevens is actually pretty intimidating, despite her small size.
Thank you.
All right, so we brought you on here to obviously talk about final weekend of the regular season is coming up. You guys have senior weekend this weekend. Your seniors were all okay. When I asked people if they could come on the show, I forgot that today was Valentine's Day. So they're like, "Yeah, I have plans. I have plans." I'm thinking, why does everybody have plans? Now I know why everybody has plans. So, Callie, you're here. I actually got a text saying, "Hey, last minute, I need you here at this time." And of course, she's my intern, so she has to do what I say. But yeah, talk about going into the last weekend. You've got Multnomah and Warner Pack this weekend to wrap up the regular season. You guys are tied right now at the top of the Cassie Conference standings. So how important are these games?
They're definitely important because we do need to win them to stay with Eastern. And also just not to like take them lightly either. Just play our game, try to get our wins. Just really just play within ourselves and play for our seniors since it is their last season, like home games here for conference. So really play for them and just go out and get 2 dubs.
Yeah, but you guys have clinched your spot in the Cascade Conference tournament. You'll more than likely be one of the top 4 seeds, so you'll be hosting for sure the quarterfinal game. I say you've almost clinched because we don't know for sure. We do, but we don't. Gotcha, kind of thing. You know, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So how important are these games, taking into account that you're going to have that quick turnaround on the 23rd, 22nd?
It's Wednesday, I think. I think men are Tuesday.
Yes. So you guys will have a really quick turnaround between those last 2 games and the conference tournament starting. So how important do those games become for that reason?
They definitely come like into play, like helping us get ready for that. Since we probably only get 2 days of practice before that. One of those days is the like preparing. So using these as like learning, like let's get our plays, sharpen up on that, get our defenses ready, and just to have fun and enjoy our last couple games on our home court before nationals and everything. So
Yep. Obviously opening round, you guys will more than likely, no matter what happens in the conference tournament, going to an opening round. There is a chance that we could very well be hosting. We won't find that out for another week or so. What's the thought process? I keep asking about thought processes, but like seriously, how do you guys plan for, we know we're going to the conference tournament, but we also know that we probably have this other tournament coming up after. What do you focus on?
what we're focusing on is just probably stay focused in practice, some like keep our attention, keep like our intensity up in practice and not be like, oh, we only have a couple more practices left. Like, no, we need to like practice hard every single day. And coach mentioned that today. We got to keep our intensity up and not like let down because it won't turn out in the best of our favor in that part. So just practicing hard, staying competitive, staying sharp and everything.
Now, you guys at this point in the season last year, similar record, but it just seems the team has gotten so much better. It's just a lot of the same people from last year. So how do you explain the difference between last year's team and this year's team?
I think this year's team, we're just meshing really well. I mean, last year, like 4 out of our 5 starters, or all of our starters, none of us have actually like ever started a college game. And then 4 out of our 5 this year have like that year under their belt. So we're a little bit more experienced. We know the defense pretty well now, our offense, and we're helping our freshmen out, and they caught up really quick this year. Ellie's done a great job stepping up as a sophomore. Everybody's just done a great part and is a very vital part of our team, no matter what they do.
And then talking about people like Ellie, the freshman, and then Hannah had a really good start to her season. What kind of pressure does that take off of you? Because last year, you were averaging 20 points a game. You were the focus for a lot of defenses, but now you have this teammates who it doesn't have to be you every single night. So what kind of pressure does that take off of you?
That definitely takes a lot of pressure off of me. I mean, I like coming into the season, I was like, oh my gosh, people are going to expect me to have to average 20 points a game. Like, I don't know if I could do that again. I'll try, but it's nice because I can rely on them, like, giving the ball. I know that it's going in. Like, one of our games, I think it was SOU, I passed to Hannah that stuck up a 3 and kept running, and she made it, and it was awesome. And it's just a lot of fun to see everybody else step up as well and see, like, their talent and, like, how they're playing. And I love seeing my teammates do good on the floor. And Maddie and Sarah are beasts on the boards. Ellie is a beast on the board. Hannah's doing a great job shooting the 3 ball. And we're just sharing the ball really well right now, too.
That's something that's allowed you to almost improve the rest of your game. Your rebounds are up this year. You had 9 assists, a career high 9 assists over the weekend. You averaged 7 assists a game over the weekend. Oh, yeah, reigning player of the week right here. But that's kind of helped your overall game, being able to rely on your teammates for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they've just been fantastic this year. Definitely taking the load off of my shoulders and allows me to, like, just play more free as well. And it's just been a lot of fun playing with them.
Yeah. You ready for senior weekend? You got 3 seniors who have all played integral parts. Sarah's been here for 4 years. She's obviously been a key on defense. Hannah's had a breakout season shooting. And then Addie is one of the best. I mean, she is the best ball handler. She leads the conference in assist turnover ratio. So talk about the transition you guys are going to have with them leaving compared to the freshmen you have.
Like, we're gonna miss their presence on the floor. Like, Sarah is just a dominant force on on our defense. She's just such a dominant force down there. Like, even in practice when I'm driving out, I go, I'm not doing that. It redirects I go right back out to the 3-point line. I'm not taking it against Sarah. And Hannah, she's just like a steady Eddie out there for everybody. You can always rely on her to stay, like, calm and like help us out and everything. And then Addie, same thing, steady Eddie. She's just, you can rely on her just to stay calm, cool, and collected in any situation. And they've all done a good job of just helping our freshmen get, like, more into it and understand the plays and everything, which can be hard at times, but they've done a good job with that. And they're just a fun group to hang out with, too. Really going to miss them.
Yeah. So looking at the conference tournament, the way it stands now, you guys are tied with EOU. So depending on how EOU does this weekend, how you guys do this weekend, and probably a coin flip, will decide the top 2 seeds, which will... Did you know Callie Stevens' grandpa spent many hours on Harris Field?
Yes, he did.
Did he?
He was a ref. I mean, a ref. Basketball girl. he umped here at LC when Ed Chef was here.
Oh, I do remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
He loves to ask me if there's a picture of him around here.
You find one.
My parents are watching. They're probably laughing at that right now.
Your mom commented earlier about
she?
something. We were talking about the Super Bowl. But yeah, I'm talking about the conference tournament. That sets up, if we're looking at a 1-2 matchup, it sets it up for you guys to rematch with EOU. What did you guys learn? You lost to EOU, your first loss since the first game of the season. I was at EOU. What did you guys learn?
Yeah. It's my brother.
Yeah.
What we learned is we have to be better on the boards. They beat us, I think, pretty handily on the boards that last game. And just to play, like, within ourselves. I wouldn't say that, like, we were, like, not playing our game, but we definitely kind of let them throw ourselves out of it a little bit. So we've just learned to fight through adversity too. Some of the foul calls weren't going our way. Tends to happen when you're not playing at home. And so that's the adversity, like, not letting the refs, like, take us out of our game, which we didn't really, but it was a tough game from the start. EOU's, like, give them props. They're a great team, very well coached. They have some really good players. They had one girl who stepped up. So yeah.
And they had 2 players last weekend, both hit their 1,000-point mark. Sailor Leakey and Beverly Slater both hit their 1,000-point mark. I don't know if you know this, Randy. Callie's sitting at 970. Is that on your mind at all?
Not really. When I'm playing, I'm just out there playing, just doing my best to help our team win in any sort of way, whether that's scoring on the defensive end, dishing the ball out, do whatever I can to help my team get the dub.
Not a girl. All right, so we'll get into the very serious, ultra serious interview questions.
I think you have these memorized by now.
She might. I might. Who knows? I might throw a wild one in there. All right. What's your favorite board game, Callie?
I'm gonna say aggravation. my parents are probably watching, and we play that game all the time. I'm like 1 in like 20 against them, but I take pride in that one win.
All right. This is just because I know Callie extremely well, and she knows where I eat the majority of my meals. I'm going to swap out one of these. So what's your go-to meal at Applebee's?
Ooh. I like their riblets on there, 2 for $20 or something. I like that.
Your mom. She
I
wins.
win
Apparently
all
wins
the
all.
time.
All
That is
right.
not a lie either. She does.
Who's the best boss you've ever had in the entire world, entire history of everything you've ever done?
Alisha Alexander.
Oh, you see that? It's on the record now. You can keep your job. Congratulations.
Yay.
All right, now we'll play word association. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Trying to think of, you've probably done her entire team by now.
We've gotten pretty close, I think.
So let's go with some of the newer people. So let's go Ella Nelson.
A word that
Mm-hmm.
she's like an energy ball, honestly.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You might not think that, like, but when you start to get to know her, she really opens up. And like this weekend, she was dancing on the bleachers after our win against OIT. I was like, go Ella.
She's so quiet.
Yeah, but once you get to know her,
Denny just emailed me pictures of your grandpa umpiring.
oh, okay. Can you email those
Yeah,
to
I'll
me? He's
forward them
definitely
to
gonna want
you.
to see those.
Oh, that's funny.
My
Thank
dad's
you.
definitely gonna want those. Thank you so much.
Word association, Denny Grubb.
Best stat guy out there.
Best everything out.
Yeah.
But yes. Let's go. Hall of Famer to be Kaylin or Landy.
Helpful.
What if we'll expand on that a little bit, just because Kaylin is going into the Hall of Fame. Goose is going into the Hall of Fame in April. What have you learned from her? You know, she's one of the best guards to play at LC State ever. Obviously, she's going into the Hall of Fame. What has that done for you?
Like I said, the word helpful. Whenever I'm struggling at the one or need some advice, I just go straight to her. Like I think it was SOU game. Kind of was leaving my dribble out there and kept getting it hit out, and she's like, "You just gotta turn your body, let the play come to you." You know, she's been really hounding me on using change of speed, and I've started to use that a lot more. And we worked on that a lot this summer, and she's just been a really great person to look up to, and both on and off the floor. I mean, she's just an amazing person.
Mm-hmm.
And just hearing her thought process as a point guard and seeing what she sees on the court and everything is also really awesome to sit there on the bench and ask her about that.
All right, and then we'll go one of the seniors, Addie.
I was gonna say helpful again, because that girl knows every play inside and out on our team. You don't know a play, you go to Addie Clabby. You need help with something, you go to Addie Clabby. She is the go-to person on stuff like that.
All right, and then Callie May.
Fun. I'm a kind person.
You are. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stop by my office every day and either ring a cowbell or just say hi.
I'll stay there for 20 minutes when she's trying to get stuff done.
I'll just keep typing, and she'll be like, "Hey, I gotta go," and just keep talking to me, which is fine because I'll sit there and listen to her. And she knows I'm listening while I'm typing or doing whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think I said yesterday 5 times, "Okay, I gotta go."
Yeah.
And then kept talking, and then, "Okay, I gotta go."
And I didn't think I'd see you today, and I did, and you almost died.
Yeah, I was walking out of the activity center, and I was waving, and all of a sudden, a baseball came 2 feet in front of me. I heard a clap, and a baseball hit down. Someone fouled it off, and I almost got hit in the head by it.
She just looks at me with her mouth wide open. I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "I almost got hit by a baseball."
I was like, I could have died today.
Yeah.
Or a concussion, one of the two.
Yeah, you'd be fine. You've had worse. And then I'll see you tomorrow when you come to work.
Yep.
Callie's helping me prep for all the craziness this weekend. And then she'll be part of the craziness this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I got for you, Callie. Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
Thanks for coming in last minute. I appreciate you answering my text message.
Of course. I was actually making dinner.
Ooh.
Making Ellie dinner, actually.
Zach made me mac and cheese like I told you he would.
That's good.
It was delicious. Zach, it was delicious.
Bye.
Bye, Callie. See you tomorrow.
Yep, see you guys.
Yeah, you guys never talk. Ever.
Callie, I
Good old
love
Callie Stevens. She's getting up there with Khalil for now second most appearances. Obviously,
Probably.
you got the top spot.
I tried to keep her out today, but everybody had Valentine's Day plans.
It's just rude against Callie.
Well, I mean, Callie very well could have had Valentine's Day plans on a
That's just-
different day. Her parents are listening.
And or just canceled them for you, like mid-date. No,
She
Alicia
probably-
needs me.
Knowing Callie, I would do the same for her. Callie will FaceTime me when they get done with the game just so she can see my dog
No.
because she wants to see Hunter or she wants to show her teammates my dog. Yeah, Callie is going to become my dog sitter once basketball's done. I can't say enough good things about that girl. I mean, even after her game the other day, I had a photographer that couldn't show up. One of my interns couldn't come because she was sick. So Callie stayed after her game to take pictures at the men's game for me. I even tell her, like, when you're in season, I don't want you working games. And she still stayed and she helped me work a game.
Oh, yeah.
Just rock star on and off the court. And her family's great too. Big fan.
Well, she helped break down stuff.
Yeah, she stayed to help clean
Couple
up one
weeks
day.
ago,
Yeah.
yeah.
She came back
Mhm.
after probably going to dinner, brought me some food and
Yeah.
helped clean up.
Yep.
I love her.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
A couple other LC things to get through. Obviously, the men are also finishing up their regular season this weekend as well. Also playing, who did we just say? Multnomah and
Warner Pack.
Warner Pack. They did lose both their games last weekend. Most likely we'll get in.
So it's
but
gonna really be tight because
You got to win on
we've got to win
Friday.
out essentially. Considering Multnomah is 2 games back, we play Multnomah this weekend. So if we lose to Multnomah,
Mhm.
I don't know what the tiebreaker scenario it would be for that one against other opponents.
Mhm.
We're tied with Bushnell. Bushnell is playing SOU and OIT.
Mhm.
So
Just win.
That's what we got.
Yep.
We just got to win. It's in our hands. We just got to win.
And try to get in. Obviously, they will go on the road if
Mhm.
they make it to the conference tournament. And unlike the women's team, they're going to have to do some magic in that tournament if they want to continue on with opening rounds and
Yeah, they would have
everything
to.
there.
Yeah.
It was a rougher weekend for them, for sure.
Mhm.
But they will be here also for senior weekend. And
Yep, we've got 2 seniors on there on that side. Kai and Keegan. Keegan is a starter. Kai's been here for 2 years.
Mhm.
I'm just really excited for the future of that program because you
Yes.
have the true freshmen, John Lustig and Grayson Hunt, and Eric Cheney also, who's been a little spark plug, but John and Grayson have really stepped up in roles that, I mean, Grayson wasn't supposed to play this year. Grayson was supposed to redshirt, and here he is in a starter role. So the future of that team is really exciting.
yeah, we've talked a lot over the last few weeks of just how much production they're getting from underclassmen, and it's going to be really,
John's
really
got a
good.
true shot at freshman of the year for the conference. So I'm excited.
And then also the tennis team has been just flying through their season. They just play every day.
Yeah.
It seems like, and sometimes twice per day. The women played 3 times this weekend, went 1 and 2. They lose both of their matchups with Montana, and then take out Whitman on Saturday. The men went 1 and 1, nearly were able to beat
That was
Eastern
close.
Washington. And a lot of the matches that they did lose were pretty close. So everything could have went either way. They do lose 4-3 before sweeping Whitworth on Sunday. The men travel to Georgia for 5 matches in 3 days. That starts on Thursday against Middle Georgia State. And the women also on the road, a little smaller trip. They'll go to actually
nope.
they got rid of that.
That one got.
I went back to my note. I remembered it was supposed to be Idaho, but it's not.
Nope, they will not play again. They had some injuries, so they're just going to take the weekend off.
Okay.
So they got down to the bare bones a little bit on Sunday against Whitman, so they're going to just take it easy this weekend. And it was funny because I got an email from someone who's going to do play-by-play for that match on Sunday, and I ended up responding saying that match has been canceled.
And actually, on the schedule, they don't show any more till March 16th.
So they'll
add some.
They're going on a trip to. They're going to go to Alexandria. I don't have any schedule for it yet. It'll be like April. Wow,
Right.
February 22nd to about the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a schedule for that one yet, but they are going to be going to Louisiana.
Okay.
So
I remember Kai talking about that trip and trying to get everything situated. But I had it in the notes about the Idaho trip not happening. But I was not looking at them when my mouth started going. So that happens.
That happens.
But yeah, so just craziness with the tennis team. I think both teams have been very, very good
The
so far.
The freshmen are really good.
There have been, because I've been able to get over there a few times, and like 1 through 6 are all putting up some pretty good numbers for the teams that they are going up against, and how much they've played already.
Yeah.
So some good things coming out of that team. And we've been talking about like Ataru being the class of that team. Guy. He's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's doing a good job so far this season, but the people that have passed him right now on the totem pole are all
Dan and Declan
doing great.
They're 2 true freshmen. Dan's out of, I forget where. He's European and Declan's from Australia. But I think Dan might be from Kazakhstan. But they're they're good. I'm really excited to see what they do this week. And they're playing top 25 NAIA teams.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a really good test. It's really going to show where they're at because the men's team is receiving votes in the national poll. So they should be playing teams that are right around the same caliber
Mhm.
based on the rankings.
Should be pretty good.
Mhm.
Real quick, before we finish up, I want to touch on some wrestling news. Lewiston will do their regionals on Friday at 1 p.m. on Moscow. Clarkson's already gone through their regionals. They did have 3 state qualifiers. Gabe, is it Weeza? I wish Hagen was still here. Dawson Bailey and Braden Flinders all making state. And Bodie Thieveridge just came up short as far as making state as well, reading through Robert's notes that he put there. So good luck to those 3 when they do their state meet. I want to say that's next week, but Robert did not put it on the thing, but usually it's about a week or 2 after the fact. And then some other sports to talk about real quick. We're about 10 days away till tickets go on sale for Clearwater Combat. The big MMA event over there at the Clearwater River Casino. I know the fight card is getting close to being all locked up. They're looking for a couple extra amateur fighters. So Hagen and I really need to go pay off our followers bet and go train with those guys for a day before they really get back into fight mode for this. That's kind of why we avoided it the first time, and then bowling started ramping up, and now we need to go get that done and just come back with black eyes and stuff and be happy with it. That's how it's going to go. The amount of guys over there that are excited for us to show up is scary. It's very scary.
Oh my gosh. No
But-
thanks.
But yeah, the Clearwater Combat will be on April 29th at the Clearwater River Casino. Again, tickets go on sale in 10 days. A couple other sporting news to talk about. Daytona 500 is this Sunday, so Hagen and I will talk about that next week as NASCAR season is fully underway. PBA will be at the PBA Collegiate Championships this weekend. That's always kind of fun, different format of bowling where if you've never watched that stuff, instead of one person bowling the whole game, they swap frames throughout the team and always bring some extra energy. We're 31 days till Aussie Rules football. You ever watch Aussie Rules football, Alicia?
One of my professors in college actually played Aussie rules football.
There you go.
He made us watch video of that along with a couple other variations of the sport.
That has been our mission for 121 episodes, is to get more people to watch Aussie Rules football. Love that sport.
Yeah,
Absolutely love that sport.
it was pretty cool.
And while Joel Damon did finish tied for 50th at the Phoenix Open, and he's getting ready to tee off on Thursday at the Genesis Invitational, I wanted to throw out there that the Netflix series that I know I saw somewhere where they promoted it.
Yeah, it might have been during the Super Bowl because I
It
know
might
Zach
have
said
been.
something about it.
Netflix has a series that is called something. What the heck is this thing called? Now that I forget. Anybody out there remember?
Zach.
Full Swing. That
There you
is
go.
what it's called. Full Swing. We'll have the 2 local boys, Joel Damon, who graduated from Clarkson High School, and his caddy, Gino Benelli, who I grew up with and has been on this show before. Both of them will be on that Netflix series.
Oh, I thought you were going to say on the show.
No, at some point we're going to get
Yeah.
Joel and Gino back on. Yes, Full Swing. We'll get Gino back on because he still lives in the area. I think Joel lives in like Arizona or somewhere now. So
Makes sense.
a little tougher to get him on, but we can
Yeah.
get him on the streaming side. But new daddy Joel will
Mhm.
be difficult to get on. He's busy as it is anyways. But
Yeah.
both of those guys will be on that Netflix series. Very excited to see it. And that starts tomorrow. So go check that out. There. We made it.
Yay!
There was a lot to get to.
Right at
and-
8 o'clock.
I had a lot of technical stuff, which made the interviews
Randy's fault.
difficult. Yeah, I unplugged them before she got here, so I made sure Alicia did all the interviews. But thank you,
Of course.
Alicia, for coming in
course.
before your fun weekend where
Yeah.
nothing is going on and we won't see each other at all.
No. Remember, you're working for me on Saturday a little bit
And Sunday
and Sunday. Yeah.
and riding tennis
Yeah,
on Friday.
and you're riding tennis.
Yeah.
I'll see Callie's mom this weekend too.
Yeah.
She's gonna help keep me caffeinated.
Yeah. See, Alicia did great.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
Randy was here.
I was here too. It's
Well, part of the time. Sometimes you were just standing over there. Well,
it was the easiest show I've done, and there's been shows I wasn't even here, like last week. For anybody that is just watching for the first time or few, we will be back on Monday, not a regular Tuesday show, because Robert and I both have obligations to cover. Robert is covering wrestling for their junior high meet on Tuesday, and I will either be at Lake City covering Lewiston or in Lewiston covering Lewiston's second round district game. So it'll be Monday at 6 next week, where we will cover the 87 different Warrior events that are happening this week.
There's only 15.
I was trying to make it sound cooler for you.
15 doesn't sound cool enough. Okay.
Russian Judge gives you a 7 out of 10. I like it. All right. That will do it for us. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. This is the R&R Sports Report. That's Alicia. I'm Randy. And until next Monday, we are out.